Hello and welcome to Star Wars News and Weekly Comic Recap presented by Tales from the Darkside, the show where your Star Wars opinions really are valued because we hate seeing grown men cry. Tonight we're covering two Star Wars comic titles, High Republic Adventures 9 and Star Wars Adventures Ghost of Vader's Castle 3. In Star Wars news, you loved it, you demanded it. It's more Star Wars fails. Tonight, the focus is on toys. Highly collectible, highly scrutinized, and in some cases here, highly ridiculous. We've got convention news from the Big Apple, reveals and exclusives, and knowledge levels will be exposed as we beta test a new trivia experience sure to lift some heads high and turn some faces red. All that and more. Probably. Let's get it going, fellas.
We're almost behind today. We're kind of on top of it. We've got a couple things going on. GT Key Comic, good to see you. Ruben, what's up? Steak Boy, ready to go. Eric, good to see you. And we'll get everybody else in the back end. Let's do around the horn there, Jedi, and say who's here.
Okay. Speaking of beta testing, you all know those posts usually seen on Instagram where you take the first letter of your first name and the last name, and that equates to your slasher movie name or whatever. Well, anyway, I came up with my own, much more complex formulation that gives Star Wars names. And he was test one in my equation, Funko Jar Cardwalker. And that's when I realized that my algorithm needed some adjusting, which I did. So please welcome the host of our show, Cad Cheetah, a.k.a. Macho Man Marco.
I don't understand. How did I, sorry, wrong arm even. What did I even do for that? Go ahead.
Okay, you want another? Okay, one more. He's the creator of YouTube's most wide-range pop culture channel, Meet Bib Gadid, or Gaded, something, I don't know, it's fake. You know him well as Pete the Visionary Renovision. And
so do I have to come up with the pronunciation, or are we just going to roll with Gaded?
Pete Gadid, depends on where you are, depends on your accent. Okay, enough of that. Maybe we'll do more on another show.
I don't understand it at all. I don't get it.
That's because you don't go on social media. Okay, we're moving on. He placed second in the Kashyyyk Vine Swing for Distance competition, losing only to his beard, just by a whisker, though. It's the mighty Solo Wookiee.
What was Solo's name? I'm curious.
I don't understand how the name thing works. I'm curious at all. I don't get it.
He knows Star Wars like Facebook knows what you're thinking. Yeah, he knows Star Wars just like that. It's the guy behind the curtain, JJ Maxwell.
No whistleblowers.
Cloned from Mandalorian DNA, but something went wrong. Or did it? The Bad Batch and Boba all rolled into one. Our own Darkside Kingpin. Hopefully you marked your calendars because it's Domtober and the hunt is on. And his workout routine includes chasing down the mail truck when it doesn't stop at his house. But eBay says he has a package delivering that day. Yeah, that's me, Jedi Johnson 22. Actually, I shouldn't say includes because that's really the only exercise I do. Let's go, guys.
I hope that's true. We get a story of you chasing down a package. Thanks. I'm going to try to figure out what the name thing was because I don't get it, but whatever. Hey, King.
It's very
thanks
complicated.
For yeah, I don't doubt it. What was mine? What did you say mine was again? I'm just trying to.
Cad. I forgot. Cheetah. Cheddar.
Cheddar cheese.
I got to play on money.
Oh, what's the CAD? Because I'm a bounty hunter?
Cad Bang.
I can't reveal the formula. I mean, it's complicated.
Got it. All right, Ed, great to have you back. I know Wednesday or whatever you took. Great. Thanks for being back for the algorithm. We're glad you're with us. Yeah, we will start talking Star Wars. Yeah. Sorry, Stick.
At some point.
We're trying to figure it out. We got a lot of stuff. As you see, Dom's here. Dom's actually coming to the great city of not really Detroit because we don't live in Detroit, but he's coming out here to go to Motor City next week. So we decided just before that we should jam his schedule packed, have him on here because he was just at NYCC. We're going to have a little recap on that, but we're also going to see what he picked up. But first, let's start going around the horn. Jedi, Soul will get first pickups on what he had for pickups.
All right. I actually found a shop here. It's about an hour and a half away. Incredible shop. Great store. Loved it. Guess what he gets a ton of? RIs. So I was able to pick up a really nice RI this week.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah. He's got a ton of them, so I'm super stoked for that. And this was great because I went shopping in my own boxes. Guess what I found? An oldie but a goodie.
That doesn't count.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's a Star Wars issue, Dark Horse comic number 7, the beginning.
That's probably the cheapest comic book you've ever bought.
Yeah, that thing is. I love that book. I forgot I had it.
Wow.
He's gonna get disqualified. You guys are getting him disqualified again. All right, is that it? Is that it, Solo?
That's it.
All
I
right,
could show
Jedi.
more, but they're all just regular.
All right, I'm going to switch cameras.
Yes, let's see this. There we go.
Gotta love the camera switch.
All right, so I got a couple of graded Bronze Age Star Wars. So this is the first one.
Ooh,
This is 31
Ooh.
9.6.
and a 9.6.
That's high.
Pretty
That's
cool.
nice. Yeah. That's nice. That's
I
And-
can press it.
So I'm going to go reverse order. This is 29, and I'm showing this one also a 9.6. Do any of you guys remember this one? Because you can't read it, but up there it says "Death of Valiant."
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was him and Vader.
Yeah, Vader killed him. Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if that's some foreshadowing. You think they're going to kind of borrow anything from the modern comics from this
I don't
one?
think so because of the
Vader's
wife
gonna
thing.
kill him?
Well, so like the Bubba hunt where Bubba was trying to hunt. Go ahead, Don.
I don't think he died in the book at the end. He was in space and his lights came back on. Like he didn't die.
I don't remember
think
reading
he
it,
died
so.
at the end of
Yeah.
the story.
Yeah, it's
If I'm not
the death, quote unquote.
But I don't think he's going to either die or die. Like if he dies, he's gonna die saving his girlfriend / wife now that he didn't have from that book.
Yeah.
That book, right? Yeah. All right, but it's still a cool book. Still 9.6s. These are nice. Whatever collection this is from, you're doing a good job.
Cool cover.
Yeah,
Real cool cover.
nice books.
Oh, that's 2. Okay, so that's 2. Dom disconnected, and he's going to reconnect in a minute. Who do we have? Oh, JJ, perfect timing. Dom Pro, so we'll get Dom back in a minute.
So I didn't have much this week, but I had a number 25 variant for Darth Vader. So last issue of the first volume.
Nice.
And I'm going to butcher the artist's last name. It's Shirashima? Something like
Shiva.
that. Shirashima, I think.
Sure.
Yep. Sure, why not? And then I also had an RI. So Star Wars Adventure
nice.
6, the Roast Cup.
Rose.
Now this one isn't interesting because I don't know if people see this one very often, but so the Flight of the Falcon one shot
Yeah, that's dope.
had a nice RI with a Hondo cover.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
I think is it Verigi? Verigi cover? Jeffrey Verigi. And then now these aren't my pickups, but somebody can pick these up soon because we'll probably be doing a giveaway of all these exclusive covers I've been showing off. So
We'll
There's
let you know about next
couple-
week.
Yep.
Tune in next
Next
week
week.
for that.
and added also in this one, all the way from the United Arab Emirates.
No, you didn't. You're mailing that to my house, remember?
Yep. Totally.
Nice.
Yep. So yeah, and
All right,
not too
cool.
far off future.
Hey,
Yeah, I
Chef,
see
what's
in
going
the
on?
chat. I see in the chat a couple of people are wanting to know what their Star Wars name is. So do me a favor, if you want to hit me up on IG. I'm going to be traveling this week, spending a lot of time in airports. Hit me up on IG, and I'll see if I can apply the algorithm to you. You have to have an Instagram account though. That's one of the you have to have Instagram.
It's a prerequisite.
Is that at Jedi Johnson 22 on the IGs?
Jedi Johnson 22. Hit
See,
me up.
I know the internet. You guys
Sometime
say I
this
don't
week
never-
I'll.
I thought you were only 21.
Just because I'm
I
not on
only
the
look
internet
21.
doesn't mean I
I
don't know
just
how it
look
works. All right, Dom is up. And Dom, we have a question starting off before that. The question is from Stickboy. He says, ask Dom if he has any extra Force Ghost 3
Ghost
packs.
Yeah, I got 2 coming, so I might have one for sale. So when it
Which
comes
one
in
is
at
that?
the end of the month. It's the Force Ghost. It's Anakin, Yoda, and Obi-Wan. Force Ghost 3-pack from Amazon.
Stick boy, you do not want to owe the Godfather a favor. You don't want to do it. It's not a good
It's
idea.
all right. It's all good. You'll fall down that rabbit hole and start buying Funkos. I can tell you that.
All right, Dom, what'd you get? Let's see.
So, I actually got this first. Speaking about Funkos, so I got a Fett Funko autographed by Dickie Beer. He's actually the stunt man underneath the armor in Return of the Jedi for Boba.
Oh,
he was
nice.
there, and
So he fell into the
this.
Sarlacc pit.
Yes. So I was kind of happy I got this. And
Great
then
selection
I got
on the ink too. Looks great.
Yeah, that was a
Yes.
good call on the rating.
The red, he picked it. He picked himself, so it kind of blends in really nice. I got this bad boy, Gentle Giant, limited
Holy
edition
shit.
statue.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Nice.
That
12
I've
inches?
actually been looking for this. Actually, it's numbered underneath.
Ooh.
So
Oh, there you go.
I've been looking for this for a long time, and I finally found it for a reasonable price, and I picked it up.
Dang, nice.
My wife's not too happy because it's another piece in the collection. And then this, I actually found for $100 in the Diamond Select booth when I went. This was the 2020 SDCC
That's
exclusive,
cool. Yeah.
and it's sold out. It has two heads now. You have this head, you got that one, and then you got this one. The concept. This is the regular
Oh,
one.
that's cool.
The pro, and you got the. I like the concept version. The Macquarie head. I like that better. There's not many
Who
statues
is
and
that?
things with this head. What?
Who is that?
Boba.
It's Boba Fett.
Boba
that's
Fett.
Boba-
Concept art.
Oh.
It's
Yeah, the
concept
one head.
art
Hold
of
up.
Boba Fett.
Hold up the Macquarie head again. When Macquarie did that, was the concept of what he was supposed to look like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
He
then
looks like
this is
Bender
the-
from
oh, now I can't unsee that.
You just
I
ruined
like this head too. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And then
That's cool.
last but not least, I got two slabs. That couple 9/8. So
Oh,
Oh, nice.
Dr. Afra.
Yeah.
I like this. And then this one right here. This is good.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Nakayama.
Akiyama.
Yep.
Sweet. That's
I like the vertical.
Nice. Good job.
Yeah.
So how
Thank
was it there? We've heard different reports on how it was in New York, but since you were there all the days, we saw you there. We saw pictures. You were sending them back. How was old New York doing? New York Comic Con.
Well, first of all, it was when I got there was a huge crowd that went underneath the tunnel, and I was like,
Mhm.
"Damn, this place looks pretty packed." When we got inside, that's when the underwhelming feeling began because there was a lot of companies that bailed out, and there wasn't that many people on Thursday, so there was a lot of elbow room. You could actually walk through the crowd without anybody touching you, which
Nice.
I didn't mind. It was kind of
Yeah,
cool, but
that's
it was
more my
also
speed.
upsetting that, yeah. The only thing that was upsetting was that Sideshow wasn't there. Funko didn't show up. Figpin was there, but they didn't have the exclusives that they were supposed to bring. So it kind of lacked that. And the same thing with the comics, the exclusives. IDW wasn't there, and DC and Marvel both pulled out. So it really, I went Thursday
so one
and
thing
Friday.
I noticed, was that a lot of the sellers, the comic sellers, were, they were doing a lot of online auctions as well
Yes.
from their booth at the con. So I guess that was an attempt to make up, I don't know, lost revenues maybe, but I saw a lot of that.
Yeah.
But I also saw exactly what you're describing, a lot of empty space in the aisles. Not a lot of people.
Yeah, I was
Not as many as I
definitely very amazed by the fact that it was that empty. Saturday I didn't go Saturday, but I heard Saturday was the crowdedest that it was because you had a lot of autographs, people signing autographs. Agent Christian was there. You had Baker there, the Voices of the Clones. He was there, and a couple other people, wrestlers and things like that. I was surprised. It was eBay. They had the eBay store that was there, that was selling the stuff from the con in the store, in the eBay, which was kind of funny. But it was my first time going back to New York Comic Con in 2 years. Well, yeah, 2 years prior. I think 2017 was the last time I went, and I took 2 years off, and then actually 3 because 2020 happened and everything was canceled. So, but that's about it. They had a lot of good stuff. I just didn't want to pull the trigger on a lot of things. And I seen the statues, and that's what I.
Did you see a lot of people buying?
Yeah, people were buying. There were a lot of people buying stuff. Posters and a lot of art. Like in Artist Alley, they had a lot of people buying art. And it's kind of funny. As much as I like comic books and stuff like that, I'm not really big with the Artist Alley and buying art. It really has to stand out to me if I'm going to buy a piece of art. And even if it's Boba Fett, I don't just buy anything. I'll buy something if it really stands out. And I walked through it like once or twice. But other than that,
sure?
Yes, I'm sure. I'm sure. Yes, even I shy away from stuff from Boba Fett sometimes. But overall, it was good. It was good to get out. It was good to see people out buying again and people having a good time. And there were some cosplayers, a bunch of Mandalorian cosplayers, and a bunch of there was like one Boba Fett. That was a guy was dressed as Boba Fett, and there was a woman dressed as Lady Fett, which was pretty cool.
Oh, that's cool.
So
Yeah,
were there more on the cosplay? More Ahsokas, more Sabines, or more Amigas?
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. I saw one Ahsoka. It was a mother pushing a baby carriage. The baby was the child in the carriage, which was really cute. And I was busy doing something, and I couldn't get a picture. I wanted because the mother looked really good in the Ahsoka costume. I didn't see any Amigas. I didn't see anybody dressed as the Bad Batch. There was one guy dressed as Vader.
How many Thrawns
It was okay.
did you see?
It wasn't. I saw one person. I don't think he was Thrawn. I think he was one of the Chiz. And I took a picture. He was with Scorpion. Somebody was dressed as Scorpion, Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah.
So other than that, there wasn't. I was actually trying to look for like all the Star Wars cosplayers. There was one guy who was a Crimson. Was it one of
Guard.
the guards? Yeah, Crimson Guard. Yeah, he was dressed up. He was a little short to be a Crimson Guard, though. I was gonna say he was short, but other than that, it was overall. I had a good time, but I was underwhelmed with all the people that bailed out.
Well,
hopefully next year.
I'm shocked Funko wasn't there. That's crazy because this Repop runs the thing, right? They're pretty connected.
Yeah, Repop does.
Yeah.
Well, listen what happened with Funko now. Funko listed their exclusives online with the one more virtual con because they made a lot of money with virtual cons in the last few shows. So they had a virtual con with a queue system. It was one of the worst systems ever. I got on the system and I was 1 minute out. Next thing you know, I turned around. I'm 56 minutes out. And I'm like, what? Everybody, a lot of people didn't get it. The only thing I wanted, there was Boba Fett, the Nomad Boba Fett. They had the con exclusive. And I wasn't able to get one because from 1 minute to 56 minutes, they sold out and everything. And it really sucked. I'll pick it up eventually. I won't be in a rush. I have the common coming, the shared exclusive coming. So, but
that stinks. I mean, I don't know. I'm unfortunately not going to oversell you what's going to happen this weekend. But from what I hear, it's like they're pushing too much, and it's in this short period of time. Yeah. And it doesn't seem like it's going to. I mean, I got some substitute plans and stuff like that, but like it just, I don't know, man. I hope it works out well. I had a Saturday con at one of like our regional shows. That's usually pretty decent. Like it's one of the bigger regional shows in the circuits. And even that con was ridiculous. Like you had like 225 people in within the first hour. And then we might've gotten another 100 people.
So what was sold out, Dom? What was that you're talking about? I forgot.
From the virtual con? It was Boba Fett, Nomad Boba Fett. Him and the Tusken.
Tell me what company was it again?
It was Pop. Funko Pop.
Funko Pop. It's Funko.
Hey, I don't know why they haven't learned about mystery packs yet. You get those mystery packs. Some people,
I know.
You know what I mean? Some people not, it'll spread the wealth. Some people are going to get garbage. Some people are going to get the Boba Fett. And, I don't know.
Hey, they actually
and a bunch of people won't open them, and you won't know. It'll be like Schrodinger's cat.
For them to actually have it online and screw the people that actually were at New York and spent the money and the time and all the extra effort to go to New York, and then you get screwed out of it by a bunch of bots online. Man, I would not be happy.
Mr.
I'd be
Pax.
livid.
Look, Funko has been a hit and miss since the beginning. You either get very lucky and you get the exclusives you get on. I haven't won a lotto system when they have a lotto system. I haven't won at all. And I wound up buying everything in the secondary market at the end. But they hit and miss. They're making the money. They don't really care about the buyer. As long as they sell out their items, they don't care. And it sucks because the bots get it. Look, $15. That's how much the pop is. It's going for $120 to $130 online right now. And you're not even guaranteed the con sticker because you get the shared or you get the con. So
that's what I'm
going to do.
I'm saying is, if they made 100 of them, they should have at least had 30 of them at the con, and then whatever of those 30 they didn't sell.
No, you all should stop
40,
buying Funko. That's what you should do.
And then you have a chance to buy one because you're actually at the con, and then whatever they didn't sell afterwards, they can put online and have the bots just wipe them out then. But to literally jab the people that actually spent the time and money to go to the con, that just seems like
Dom Dom just told you why, because they set it up to make X amount of dollars at their cost, and they make it a rarity. People go crazy. Every place you go to a Funko stop, there's people, idiots, almost getting in fistfights in lines to get there, and it's always sold out within 2 minutes. Always.
Look,
without a doubt.
With you. Everybody bought tickets for the Comic-Con, for New York Comic-Con, and what happened was everybody bailed out as soon as the con was approaching, and people were stuck with those tickets. I bought the ticket from somebody. I said, let me buy them because I wanted to go. I just wanted to do something.
Hypothetically, he bought them from somebody else. Yes.
Yeah. So.
Oh yeah.
Other than that, I really, like I said, I enjoyed it just to get out and to see what was going on. But like I said, it's not this. It wasn't the same. Maybe next year things will pick up and things are starting to look a bit better. And hopefully, they're gonna have SDCC in November, and then you have Emerald City Con in December. So you have 2 more cons coming, and there's more exclusives coming because Funko already announced there's going to be con exclusives for the San Diego Con and the Emerald City Con. So we'll see.
Well, it stinks that people are pulling out. But that's kind of like what we were saying months ago about CGC in Baltimore, right? Like, it's worth going to Baltimore if CGC shows up, but we said months ago, like, we talked to some of the people over there, and they had the problem that I have sometimes, and I know this is happening at cons, is that sometimes the person who puts it on is saying, well, we had these people every year, we're holding a spot for them. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying that happens all the time, but I am saying when you talk to some of the people or some of the vendors or some of the companies, and they're like, yeah, we don't really, we tell them we might, but that's as much as our intention is we're not going, where we say, yeah, we might. Yeah. They need to be a little bit more sincere about that. Not the companies, like the people who put on these cons. Like, somebody says they might show up, you shouldn't have them front page and center. Because I'm willing to bet that it wasn't a last minute decision that IDW pulled out, because they had all that shit ready to go. It's not a last minute that Marvel pulled out. You know what I mean?
Look, I can actually say one thing. This is what I read about Funko. Apparently, they didn't have all the merchandise they wanted because a lot of stuff is stuck in the cargo ships, which, again, I never thought there'd be traffic in the sea, because every time all these cargo ships are full of product that's stuck. So they only had 30 exclusives. Usually they have over 100, and it was like less than half of what they usually throw out. And so they said, listen, we'll do the virtual con. We'll do it this way, see how it works out. If that's a failure, which it was, we'll have something different next time. But
was it because they sold out? Was it a failure?
But did the main thing is the collectors get it and not bots and not the people?
No, hey, dude, go talk to Target and Walmart. Every time they're fighting them, they don't care. Like, that's the one thing that everybody thinks. Cares. Like, we always think from our direction, like what we do to help ourselves out. But the truth of the matter is, it's sold. They don't care. Like, you can see where it's going right now. Yeah, they're making money. They're making, and it's cheaper. That's the one thing you got to think. Like, I hope that some of these companies decide to go back to doing that. But think about, like, CGC is a perfect example. Why would CGC do on-site grading at all anymore? Ever again? When they had competition and they had to go out there and they had to actually do stuff to make it better for them against CBCS, and they wanted to actually develop it where you were actually getting books on time. Now they're packed all day. They don't need to do that shit. And Funko's the same way. They got a ton of people hooked. And the secondary market isn't slowing down for Funko Pops. It's going crazy. So until that slows down, why would they even hire people to go? I mean, it sucks. You think that they want to hire employees to hear somebody go, I can't believe this booth's already closed down. You guys never have shit here. No, they don't want to do that either. So
like tens of thousands of dollars they have to spend on setting up this booth.
Yeah, and it ain't free to have a booth. You know what I mean? It's
and the
not
traveling.
Free for a booth. Yeah, I mean, it's like
we'll see. No, go ahead.
I hope it goes back to that way, but right now we're teaching companies that they don't need to show up, and we'll still pay money for it, which is unfortunate. So, I don't know.
Look at if 2020 didn't teach us anything with the hobby market going bananas, I don't think nothing would. 2020 was the most craziest time when it came to collectibles.
Yeah, and it helped them out.
Exactly. So people made a lot of money that they bank, and the values of books went through the roof, and Star Wars was going crazy. So,
well, think about all the people who would spend money to fly to cons, to buy tickets for cons that they didn't have to go to, that now they just spent that money on the comics and the products they wanted, just buying it online instead of flying somewhere, renting a hotel, going to a convention. Like I have this money now that I was going to spend. I'm still going to spend it on collectibles.
And by the way, like that was kind of part of it too. Like the vendors found out that the internet exists. Like that was one thing that was really weird when it shut down to when it reopened, and everybody's complaining, "Oh, these prices are so high. I can't believe that there's the same prices on." What do you think the vendors were doing, man? We weren't sitting around waiting for our books and stuff to rot. The market was popping. You had to sell. So like now I know there's vendors, like I literally know vendors who are like, yeah, I'm not going to that con anymore. And you're like, you're the biggest vendor in the area. That's your biggest con in your local area. It costs you nothing pretty much besides rental to go there. Not going because they don't. Now
you see, they don't look. See, another thing that causes a problem too is it's like a chain reaction. Funko not being there causes the other people who sell Funko Pops in there to lose money. But think about it. You have con exclusives. The other vendors pick up those con exclusives and sell them for double in the place. There's a place called Undiscovered Realm, and they're a big Funko. They sell Funkos, and they always get the con exclusives, and they always, sell them for double, triple. So people did lose money because the big companies weren't there.
To me, though, as a individual buyer, though, that seems like a horrible practice. To say, hey, I'm going to sell this con exclusive that I just got for $35 for $75 because I got here earlier than you because I'm a vendor.
I know, but that's I mean that's partly on the buyer. We've seen this is before 2000.
The buyer doesn't even have a chance to get it. The vendor's already bought it before the buyer's even there.
Exactly.
It's not. Hey, that's not pop exclusive, bro. Yeah,
I know. I'm just saying
that ain't fucking ever been new. That ain't been new.
To me, that's a good thing that they were
right in your face. It's just like all the Walmart exclusives where the individual sellers sell the Walmart exclusives.
Yeah,
on the Walmart
I mean that's not there. I mean that's like I guess the dirty secret of the comic book industry, the comic book like thing for years. That's people are knowing about it more now, but like even sometimes you're like, why is this guy set up with overpriced books that he's not selling? It's because he just bought $10,000 worth of stuff before that door even came close to opening, and he's just moving it down the street to New York or to Chicago or to the big regional sale, and that's what's going to happen. And you're not going to see that book till it's priced at market. Now more people know about it because more people are getting involved in it, but like this isn't new. It's been happening with pins. It's been happening with Pops for years. It's been happening
everything.
That's how it goes. It's just more people realize it now. Like they see it because the internet actually helps them see it a little better. So
yeah.
What's going on, Darth Lopez? That guy. What's going on? Who else do we say? Shannon, we saw you. You said hi. I hear what you are saying. Comic Journey sucks. You lost money on the ticket. They should have made that refundable. Ghost Junk. I hear you. Thank you for the thumbs up. Ed said something again. Oh, Astro. Good to see you, Astro. Haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. I know you watch your stuff. We just haven't seen you live for a bit. He who farts a lot. I mean, everybody's got a name. And what's up, the junk man? All right, so that's cool. We're gonna get a little bit into it. Hopefully, you guys were following the IG. I know they joke because I don't usually get on social media, but I did to post out ahead of time that book was coming up for sale. I hope you guys all went there. You're welcome to everybody who thanked me for, if I didn't respond, you're welcome. I'm glad you got as many copies as you did. We will also cover that book going through right now. Oh, what is a Pyrex collection pop? I don't even know what that is.
It's like Tupperware.
I was gonna say, yeah, isn't that the glassware?
Hey, Pyrex is expensive, man.
Hey, no, because the Corning outlet's going out of business. So we got a bunch of that Star Wars Corningware and some of the Pyrex stuff, the Star Wars Pyrex stuff.
Get that. Try to replace the lids on those things.
Yeah.
The lids also the whole thing.
And you got to find the one that fits, and sometimes they don't fit quite right. And
Yep.
That's what we're doing now. That's what we're doing now.
It's when you start hunting Melmacian that you know you're an 80s kid.
Dude, you guys are all. You guys are.
You talking about Gordon Shumway again?
No, it's a dishware from the late 70s, early 80s.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Melmac.
No, Melmacian.
From Elf.
Elf.
Yeah, it's actually the planet that Elf is from. But yes, it's actually a Corning type ware from late in the 70s.
Oh, wait. Hey, we're doing news first. We're not doing comic reviews. Pete, could you please get the news up? So we don't have to discuss Martha Stewart living or whatever for the next 5 minutes. Stick Boy's always yelling at us about only Star Wars anyhow. So, all right, Darth Lopez, if we didn't say hi, what's up? Oh, Chad Cave here. What's up?
All right. First up in the news, there were new books announced. All of them coming out next year. Unfortunately, I forget the dates because I read this a while ago and made the slide and now I forgot. But so I do know what they're about. So Shadow of the Sith follows. It's a Luke and Lando story. Kind of weird. Takes place between Force Awakens and I think Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, it's gonna be so stupid.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna be like a buddy cop book. I don't know. But it seemed like a weird description. The other book, Star Wars Brotherhood, seemed very interesting. It's gonna be a Anakin Obi-Wan story.
Nice.
Which I don't know. I mean, we kind of already have retreaded that over like 7 seasons of Clone Wars and everything else, but it still would be fun to read a good book about it. Stories of the Jedi and the Sith is a collection of short stories.
I always enjoy those.
Yeah, so those usually, probably about 90% of them usually in those books are pretty good. And then Star Wars Padawan is actually young Obi-Wan. So it's Obi-Wan, like in his time of like when he would first join up with
like real first one. Nice.
Yeah,
I think that's a good area to explore a little bit more. That and seeing Qui-Gon, give us a little early Qui-Gon-ish, you know, where we can get that him. And I always like Dooku, but go ahead.
Maybe Brotherhood will reveal that Gundarth, pit that they fell in that they're always referencing throughout Clone Wars and some of the other.
Yeah.
Chad, hey, you'd like your expert, Double J. He'd like your expert opinion on this. Is Luke and Lando going to be the lethal weapon of the Star Wars universe? That's what Chad K wants to know. That's funny. Dude. That's kind of funny.
So
all right, what do we got next?
So Lando can turn around and say, "I'm too old for this."
Yeah, that's getting too old for that.
Yeah, I'm getting too old for
this. Just to comment on Chad K, we went through that whole con conversation, Chad, and I wasn't negative, so I just didn't say anything. That goes back to other shows. Anyways, all right. So the Galactic Star Cruiser Hotel that we all thought was way too expensive for normal people sold out in like 3 hours or something ridiculous.
Not everybody said that. I was the one person that said this is going to sell out.
Yeah,
and you guys are ridiculous.
No, I said no, it's going to sell out. Like
I said it was going to sell out. Yeah, I said it was going to sell out. I just said it was way too damn expensive.
I said it wasn't expensive. I said this is not expensive. It's not.
If there's one thing I've learned from watching online auctions, there's a whole lot of people a hell of a lot richer than I am out there.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
And that means everything.
Look, man. No, I'm just. It's not. We're okay. Next story. We're not gonna get into this again. I got so much detail from this segment.
I just wanted to make one comment on. I think that's the actual hotel room design, and like. If you can't even sleep 4, right? Because those are like kid-sized beds. So like if you had like 4 adults, like you can't even like.
I think they're a little bit. It's like a ship cannon. I don't know.
My feet's gonna be hanging off the bed.
Yeah. Like, good luck if you're like 6 foot tall. All right.
Too many adults.
Thank you, Leftover. Yeah, and to the guy, and to the guy that was like trying to lambaste me, because I never block anybody, but the guy that was trying to lambaste me and like, yeah, dude, you must be. Listen. Honestly, not even covering tuition for one of my kids for a year. So, like, yeah, people have that type of money, and it's going to sell out, dude. Just telling you. That one guy, he got my grinder. So, sorry about doing that, but yeah, there we go. We'll put our big boy pants on today.
Yep.
All right.
I kind of heard. I'm sorry. I kind of heard that they sold out like the next 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
and there's
booking
and there's
fast.
a list. I actually looked into it. It's like ridiculous. So
It's crazy.
there we go.
Good luck. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna take pictures for you guys. I was gonna use the GoPro on it.
Sign up now. It's going to take in the next 2 years to
I was
save up
telling
to
you, it's
pay
gonna be
for it.
$10,000.
2 years, yeah.
They're gonna up the price. By the time
Mhm.
regular people can get to it, it's gonna be $10,000.
That's what I'm
Inflation.
saying. Sign in
Well, I'm
now
gonna have to be
because
saving to
in 2
go that
years-
amount of time.
Shannon,
Anyway, so.
Shannon, your father-in-law agrees with me. So stop. All right, go ahead. What's up next?
So I just want to follow that up with a good news segment,
Yes.
or feel good news segment, I should say. Where so this is kind of interesting in that. So,
I am on Grindr.
Yeah, a teen's Make-A-Wish thing was to like create like a Star Wars movie. So this group of animation students from University of Wisconsin and Stout came up with a fan film they're working on. So they let him direct the portion of the fan film they're working on, if I read the story correctly. So
Oh,
nice,
cool,
to,
man.
nice to team up in a Make-A-Wish
Wow.
thing. So,
That's awesome.
It
Yep.
is.
His
It's really
Star
cool,
Wars name's a
man.
lot better than the ones I came up with.
Lexander?
Lex
I was gonna say, is that the kid's name? Because that's like
No,
an
that's the name of the
awesome
film. The name of the film is Legend of Lexander. But yeah.
It can't be any worse than the last two movies. I mean, I'm gonna
Yeah.
laugh when this thing's a major hit and then compared to the last two movies.
What was the one though? There's that one that's pretty good. Not
Yeah.
the,
There was one-
not the boss crazy shit one.
Well, there've been a lot of them.
What,
like-
Scorekeeper? Scorekeeper? That's a good
Is that the one with
I can't remember the
Afro in
name.
it?
Scorekeeper.
I can't remember the
Oh,
name of it,
Jesus
but there was the
Christ.
one that was there was
The
one that was
production
about.
level is 1,000. The production level on that's 1,000. The script and acting is a -2.
Hey, There's been really good. Like there was that one that was the
The Stormtrooper
Obi-Wan.
in the desert.
well,
yeah.
and the Obi-Wan Vader fight redone.
Mm.
That was
That
really
was good. I
good.
like that.
Yeah. So
What was the Stormtrooper? There was a Stormtrooper one that was really done really well too.
yeah, and there was one that was about Revan, like after
Yeah,
he's
Yeah.
redeemed or whatever.
There was a
So,
great Darth Maul one.
yeah, there's been good fan
There's Darth
films.
Maul
There's
Oh,
been some
really?
good fan films. Yeah. Not
Hey, the-
Scorekeeper. Scorekeeper is not. No.
The
Not that.
Batman,
No.
the Batman
Wait,
no,
Darth
listen to me.
Vader
Wait,
was cool
look.
too.
Okay,
The
go ahead. I want to
Scorekeeper,
hear
like
this.
the end when Boss saw Boba, he goes, "You son of a clone." It's like doing the Arnold Schwarzenegger and it's from Predator.
Carl Weathers.
That was good. I like Carl Weathers. I like that.
Oh, come on, man. I haven't seen it yet.
It's only spoiler alert. 10 years past your prime for seeing it. No, it was only like 5 years old, but it. I mean, I gotta tell you, whoever shot it and did all the production, give them our numbers so we could get this show to look like that because it was great. But his girlfriend definitely should have been Dr. Afra. Boss looked like a swamp monster. It was crazy, and yeah, no, the acting was terrible. So there you go. I'm in one of those moods. Let's go.
All right. So much to the surprise of some of our fellow panelists here, Star Wars Visions ranked 5th in its first official week out. So even beat out The Mandalorian as far as streaming goes. So yeah, kind of surprising. But lost out to Squid Game and like I don't know, Stranger Things is on the top of this list, and I look back at a few other lists.
Squid Game's
Stranger
really
Things has
good.
been on the top of this list for like ever. I feel like.
Honestly, because the kid on Stranger Things, the one kid that's he's got I don't know, how do I say this? He's the one that has the fake teeth.
Yeah.
What
And
the-
another comic
Dustin.
news, Titans.
Dustin.
Titans apparently does incredibly well on this.
Yeah.
this
Dustin's going to be at
anticipation
Motor City, and every single person has come to me in the last 2 weeks asking if I can get him in so they can get signatures by this Dustin kid.
Really?
So like, it's very pop. I mean, normies, not us. Like normies are asking, like, hey, dude, hey, my daughter, my wife, my son, they want to get. Can you? No, dude, no, I can't get all. I can only get us dorks in, not you normies. You have to wait in line with the rest of them.
With the
And
rest of
Marco,
the
you gotta
normal.
get they have a black light pop of Dustin. You get autographs. They're worth money.
Oh, the kid.
Yeah.
I don't wait in lines though. That's the problem. Well, maybe we'll get you in that line and you can get us both a signature. All right.
Yeah.
What's the next? This is cool that
Yeah.
it did good. I'm glad it did good because I was there was a lot of them I liked. in there.
Yeah, let's move along.
No? Oh yeah, that's right. That's who it was. I was like, who are
Move
you
along.
talking about?
Move along.
Jedi. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's go. Move along.
So now my favorite portion of the news section is more the rumor section. But so we had the rumor that so they're gonna jump around and Kenobi's gonna jump Andor as far as release date. It seems weird because I'm pretty sure the Andor principal filming was done before this was, but I don't know. It's kind of interesting if that happens.
in the back end, I guess.
Yeah. So nothing super exciting there. I just thought it was interesting, and still haven't heard a lot about Andor. Like it's like the mystery Star Wars show that just nobody decides to talk about that much. So
12 episodes.
Say what?
12 episodes?
So
12, yeah.
12 episodes.
So, yeah,
Good.
it's one of the longer Disney Plus series. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. But you haven't heard much about it. So, hopefully, we hear more soon. All right, next slide. So this was the other big rumor that apparently the Darth Vader Obi-Wan fight in the Kenobi show is apparently going to be like Dragon Ball Z, from what I read, where apparently people are like throwing people through
did you see
boulders or something.
Did you see who released it? And then the person who reported it after they released it goes, "This person has a 42% chance of being 50% right on what they normally give out." I'm like, 42% on 52%? What the hell? So half the time they're a little bit above half the time they almost get something right in what they say.
60%
they only
of the
get
time
that,
it works.
60% they get wrong. 60% they get one part less than, so out of the 50% pretty much that they get out of the 50% of the time that they get one thing right, they only get 42% of that thing right. I didn't understand what they were saying, but whatever, man.
It's nonsense, really. It really is.
And he
instead
popped
of
his
grain of
helmet off.
salt.
Yeah.
Instead of grain of salt, look for swallow it with a heaping bowl full of salt. Like that's something you should do with all these, because a 40% is probably generous as far as accuracy goes.
42%.
Yeah, whatever the hell.
No, it was 42% of 50%. So half.
But you missed that it was.
That's
also
still probably generous.
They don't even get the people right who are in the movie. They don't even get the people right in the movie.
Nope.
Hey, can I throw something in here?
What?
That's kind of related, but not really. We're talking about rumors and stuff. So my youngest son, who's not really a Star Wars fan, really big time anyway, approaches me the other day, said, "Hey Dad, have you heard the rumor about Rey?" And I guess there's a video out there, so you guys let me know if you've seen this. There's a rumor or some sort of conspiracy or there's a theory that Rey somehow goes back in time and is Anakin's mom.
What? I try to avoid the internet at all costs.
He said he's going to let me see the video.
Rebels did introduce time travel in a way.
Exactly. And we don't exactly. Yes. And Dave said nobody knows how it works because it's not real, so he can do whatever he wants on it. So I guess.
But we already saw Anakin's mom, and it wasn't Rey.
Yeah, it wasn't Rey. So
considering it was Palps doing the midichlorian, whatever.
Yeah, and she's technically a clone or whatever, right? Or daughter of a clone.
I'm not saying it's fact. I'm just saying.
I think
is that like
just got a headache from this?
Is that like Palpatine Skywalker inbreeding in a way?
All right, so
your own grandmother or something.
Chad has a question. What it is going to be? It's going to be Andor is off of Cassian Andor, the guy that was in Rogue One, and at one point they're going to have gay Black Panther twins who get married and try to adopt a kid in it. Just so you know. So there you go.
So what I'm asking JJ in front of all our viewers, what I'm asking JJ in front of all our viewers is, sometime in the near future, can we see a Never Tell Me the Odds, It's a Trap segment on Is Rey Anakin's mom? That's all I ask.
Perhaps if Marco ever greenlights that segment ever again, I'll look into it.
We can do it. I approve.
Marco to greenlight it. Okay.
Just remind me we can do it.
Skywalker part of Rey, or Rey is Shmi, or wow.
You got time to work it through.
All I can think of is Futurama in the like I'm my own grandfather scenario.
The two Black Panther characters do have a link to Andor, though, because long story. All right. Anyways, go ahead. All right. Rey is Shmi. No, Rey is not Shmi.
All I have to say on this
it's no. There's no way Rey is Shmi. No. I think we're over. Yeah.
All I have to say on this one is screw this guy. But anyways, it came out that
it wasn't true.
Yeah, well, he himself was the one pushing the rumor, and then he's like, "Well, I'm just kind of like out there like manifesting things, and I really wanted this role, so I figured I'd put it out there and just throw my name in the ring."
Trying to be Catwoman.
Yeah,
trying to Rosario Dawson himself into a lead.
Dawson didn't actually do it though. Fans ran into her and said, "Hey, there's this character that you should play." She then went and viewed the character and said, "That'd be cool. I could play that character." This dude went like, "Let me start a rumor and hope I Dawson it." And he didn't realize that nobody knows who the fuck he is and nobody cares.
Yeah.
So
Aladdin is probably not going to be Ezra, most likely.
Yeah. So. That's Aladdin.
Believe me,
that's
Aladdin. It's not going to be a whole not a whole new world with him.
Nope.
Nope.
Another year and a half. He could be Wolverine. Look at them chops.
You gotta get half price's son on the show one time. He's a big Star Wars fan too. All right.
All right, so the last rumor was this one,
Holy
which
fuck.
was one of the dumbest ones. So apparently there was a rumor. I don't even know why this was a rumor. Okay, so the rumor is that a Rancor will appear in Book of Boba Fett.
Oh, this is
The rumor is that now this was what I read in the article. They weren't sure, quote unquote, this inside source that knows so much about Book of Boba Fett wasn't sure whether or not Boba Fett would befriend and ride the Rancor or fight the Rancor.
No, it was even better. The original one.
Or date the Rancor.
No, did you get no. The original was we have an inside source who 100% saw some mock-up art, but we can't show you the mock-up art.
Yeah, so they did their own.
What we
mock-up
got to
art.
do is we hired an artist to do the description of what the guy, and this is exactly what he described, or this isn't what he described happened.
Yeah, and it's also almost an exact copy of that cover where Avar Chris is riding the Rancor. Like,
Almost
put them
like
side by
100%.
side.
Yeah,
It's like so the artist
Depending
was just
what's
like,
going on.
let me just copy that and put Boba Fett in her instead of her. But yeah, so
Oh man, is Kylo Ren gonna make a return? Probably not. I mean, he will
I
in
hope not.
something. They're gonna bring him back in something like the Knights of Ren are coming back to the Crimson Wreath thing that they're doing.
he just did make a return in the Lego special.
Yeah, he made a
It's
return.
all
Yeah, I was going to say, we just saw it.
We start pushing for Christian Slater to play the role live action.
Of Ren.
Don, what do you think? Don loves the rumors.
Yep.
You know
This
what?
is
Listen, other rumors, 9 out of 10 times, they're not correct. You know, the speculation, the rumors made The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker sound like the greatest Star Wars films ever. And they should those rumors should have been real. The whole thing with the Book of Boba Fett, you know, I could see a Rancor being in it, and maybe Boba Fett flies on top of him with his jetpack, and he tries to stop it from rampaging through Tatooine. But I don't know. It could be true. Because
Like I said to you, so
Or there just could be a Rancor downstairs. Like
for those people that don't know, I don't
Rancor.
even look on the internet anymore because Dom just forwards me all these almost as fast as the internet could do it. And as soon as he forwarded this one, I said, when I say grubby or whatever, remember in Bad Batch, the Rancor that they sent over there that they rescued? And I think that's where this rumor started. Like,
Isn't there
that Rancor's got to be somewhere. And since he took over Jabba's palace, that Rancor was supposed to go to Jabba. So that little baby Rancor grew up, and now Boba Fett's going out there to grab, what was his name? Chewie? No, that's not
it was
I can go look at our messages. I can't remember now.
but everything is connected.
Stinky.
Stinky.
Well, Stinky was Jabba's son.
Jabba's son.
What was the pet Rancor in Bad Batch? What was the name?
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
of it.
They took it to Jabba.
Rancor.
They took it. This is why the rumor started. They took that thing to Jabba, and
Isn't
they said that that's not the Rancor that ended up dying. That there's another Rancor that Jabba owns, and this is how this rumor started.
Next thing you know, Omega is going to be in Book of Boba Fett.
No, I swear to God, now I'm old and my memory's bad, but I swear that I read an excerpt in one of the older comics that the Mandos ended up writing one of the Rancors on a planet. It wasn't Tatooine. I cannot remember which one.
Sure, won't be the first person that ran a Rancor. There's a couple Jedi that did too, and a couple Sith. So, like,
Yeah,
I mean, it's not like
so to see it. I mean, would not be that far out of the spectrum of things that have happened in,
Enjoy the
in
tacos,
older
Mandy.
novels and in comic books. So,
Ooh,
and it'd be cool to see another Rancor on TV and on movie and theatrical.
I guess. I mean,
I'd
I
enjoy it.
don't think this would be a bad thing. I think it'd be as long as you do it right, and I think it'd be cool if you like. That's what I told Dom when it sent. Like, if they incorporated Bad Batch into this, it's not a bad idea. I just think, just how they're doing these rumors is just like, just come on, man.
Well, I think it's important to notice when you ask
I
Dom
want
to
tacos
debunk the rumors, the one rumor that he did not mention was the rumor about Rey time traveling back and giving birth to the one who would bring balance to the Force.
Well, I heard that Rey actually was cloned off of Omega, and she's technically a Shmi's mom. So,
You know how many It's a Trap segments this is creating for me as we go?
Oh yeah, I mean, let's go. All right, done with news. Thank you. I don't know if we're gonna do news next week, but if we do, it's I'm in one of
They
those.
just won't let me
I don't-
participate.
Yeah.
Listen, I have a
I'm
Rey
sorry.
rumor that's actually better than all the rumors that
Give it to
we're
us.
talking about. Rey is possessed by Palpatine's Force Ghost, his essence, and she doesn't know it. And later on in the future, she starts turning to the dark side, and her twins are going to take her down. That's what they have to do.
Does everybody have twins in Star Wars?
Palpatine's have twins. Yeah, they do. They literally do.
Think about this. He won at the end. He became a Skywalker. His mission was to take down the Skywalkers. And what is the greatest thing? Remember that old saying with the devil? The devil's greatest feat is to say that he doesn't exist.
He doesn't exist. Yeah.
So Palpatine is a Skywalker, and his essence is in Rey, and she's going to start turning to the dark side later on. And they do that in the future. That's the one rumor I heard, that a story, and that should be better than the 3 movies that came out with the sequel to it.
Finn becomes a Jedi, and they go toe-to-toe.
He screams one more time.
How did Rey become a Skywalker, though? She's not actually...
Yeah, she just did.
No,
she just claimed the name Skywalker.
Yeah, she's not actually a Skywalker, bro.
No, she claimed.
Wait. What about this? What about they finally figured
she's Anakin's mom?
Yeah. Wait. No. Time out. No. What if Palpatine actually did the mind trick on Smee, and that's how Anakin was born, because it's Palpatine and Palpatine is really the first Skywalker.
Did some Sith roofie on her?
These are the droids you're looking for. Yeah. Well, the Boba Fett thing. How Boba Fett got daughter. If y'all know about Boba Fett's daughter, you know what happened in that comic book. Star Wars ain't revisiting that anytime soon. So
listen, look, my thing is, it's full circle. As George Lucas puts it, it's poetry in motion. It all comes full circle. There's a balance of the Force all the time. There's always an evil and always a good to take it down, and it goes in full circle. So. Who knows?
Yeah. All right. I don't know. I don't think they're gonna go back and do Palpatine birth, and I don't think they're gonna go back and do. If they go back and do Shmi as Rey, I'm done. I'm taking a break. I'm just. We've been how many episodes? We're like at 100 some episodes on this thing. 100, whatever.
Into Phantom Menace, like
we'll be taking a hiatus for.
Marco's going to start watching Star Trek if that happens. You're gonna be
I have no clue what that is, but definitely not.
Listen to me. If that listen, Jar Jar has a better chance of becoming the ultimate Sith. For that,
I want that to happen. I'm down with that. Like Darth Jar Jar is legit, bro. Dwayne Scott, what's going on? Marv, what's going on? I don't know if I said hi to you guys yet. Palpatine's going to have more than one clone. That's what he happened in the books. I know. Yeah. I hope they don't try to fix it. I hope they just let it go. I think Darth Lopez talked about, like, let's just move on. Let's get High Republic in. Let's go to Sith planet someplace. Let's go post Rey. Let's get the hell out of it.
Look, I'd rather explore like the original stories around the Skywalker era. Like,
yeah.
Like we talked about, like Obi-Wan's time as a Padawan and stuff like that.
Yeah, and let's go to Dathomir. You want to talk about something? Go to Dathomir. Yeah. Let's talk about that.
Listen, the Dathomir with the Rancors. The Rancors are from Dathomir. The Night Sisters have a whole story on that. Look, there's so many stories they could do outside the Chiz. They could do the Chiz, Grand Admiral Thrawn, where they could different outside other species they could make stories about, and they just stay in the one little squared circle.
Yeah,
it is. That is the one thing they need to move. That's the one thing they need to do. You know what's funny is, like, and it's just because it did show up on the special, but like, if you Bloodlines, when you got that, what would be actually cool in the new stuff if they actually did, and you could almost get a Rogue One semi-type experience out of it, is do the Knights of Ren. Do Ren, not Kylo Ren. Do Ren when he's over there mugging people and they're slicing through people as teenagers on Alderaan or wherever, not Alderaan, Prime, Horus Prime. Have that happen and do that book that you're not going to do Leia anymore because she's dead and you had to abandon that thing. I mean, not Leia's dead in the movie, but I mean, like, what's her name died in real life. So just give us the Blueprint Ren part of that. Like,
do you know what other news story
the Young
this
Guns
week?
Gangster part? What
other news story this week I saw but I didn't include was Pablo Hidalgo said that a lot of the, I guess, ideas that Rian Johnson came up with were actually incorporated in that Bloodline story.
It's like I know people kill for this. I don't have a problem with the Rian Johnson movie.
Boo is the worst one. Terrible.
No, you're wrong. You're incorrect, sir. You're actually incorrect number-wise, too. Like, actual how many views afterwards, post views, the Rian Johnson one is more popular overall throughout Star Wars stands than the other two pieces of junk. Well, I will say this. There wasn't much you could do on it.
Ruined it for the others.
It didn't ruin it for the others. They started off shit. if you hand shit on a plate, he just knocked some of the shit off, and then JJ took a even more gigantic shit on
Not
top
me.
of it. Yeah, not
Took
that
a
JJ.
turd bath.
Yeah, like if you cut out if you leave all the bloodline elements in, and you cut out all the elements that the JJ elements of that movie, first off, it'd only be 22 minutes, which would suck. But that 22 minutes of non-JJ content, if you watch it, is actually pretty decent. With that being said, either way, let's go back and get the bloodline stuff. I mean, we should get the bloodline stuff. We should finish off the bloodline stuff. And the other part too was what's her name died. Disagree with what, Marv? What's incorrect?
Your opinion that The Last Jedi was better than the other two.
That's not a true statement. That's an incorrect statement. I destroyed everything. Rain.
Yeah, well, and JJ Abrams.
Rain didn't set anything up. Rain came and tried to. You do understand the ship. What you're saying now is that the Force Awakens is a. If you argue that he came in. You do understand the ship was sinking. It was ass up in the water, sinking down, and then he kind of just like, this is all he could do. He goes, "Oh yeah, I got a piece of bubble gum. I'll put it on one hole." Like the ship's still sinking, bro. You just plugged one hole for a second. And
I forgot about the brilliant ideas that were Leia flying through space and not dying. Somebody committing suicide by setting their ship into hyperspace.
That was actually really cool.
I like that.
I'm sorry, man.
I like that.
Why wouldn't everybody just do it?
That was the coolest part of all three of those movies was that part right there where they dropped the complete silence.
And who could forget?
Almost like the Boba Fett boom.
Who forget Broom Boy and the glory that was like randomly taking a side trip that made no sense to a casino.
The right part was a throwback to the prequels. I get all that. Dude,
hey, if Benicio del Toro was actually Hondo in that movie, it would have been 10 times better.
Yeah, sure.
No, actually, if he was
Ezra,
if he was Ezra, a grizzled Ezra, and because he looked like Ezra, everybody thought he was a scar.
Ezra working for the First Order.
Hey, wait, time out. This is our Christmas. We're gonna have everybody back on. We'll talk about because we actually Ruben is in the chat. We're having Ruben on. We're tier grading the movies. We will have the full breakdown of that during the holidays. So let's stop it there before, like, I know it's getting
moving right along.
Yeah, what do we got next?
How did we get off on this tangent? I have no idea.
Tangent. We're an hour in. We didn't even get the comic review.
This is gonna be a short. This is gonna be a real short one, guys.
Yeah.
Comic reviews it is. Let's go into comic reviews. We've already lost Solo Wookie. He had a heart attack. He's done.
Chopping like flies over.
I know. Oh, shoot. I've got 2 comic reviews up and I don't know which one it is. I'll try this one.
Retro.
Okay, let's see if that's what I needed. Okay, cool. Good. Yeah, we're going to slam some people in this one too. All right, here we go. Well, the better of the 2, I think, this week, and one that we've thoroughly enjoyed so far and keep enjoying, and I hope that they don't lose the rights to this, but I'm getting nervous. I
hope if they do, at least keep the same team. Like, keep the writer and artist team and leave it alone if it goes to Boom or Marvel or whoever. Yeah, don't screw with it.
Older write any more novels or books or little kid books, but let him stay on the comics because he's doing a really good job. We start off. We're gonna get finally. This was the book that we thought it was gonna be. We're gonna get What's Up with the Mask and the background story on Kira.
Court.
What's his Court?
Court.
Yeah. He's got connections to Maz. We get a little bit. Apparently, he's got connections to Sav too. We saw Sav last time. That's the chick, Van. I mean, the chick that got the what's the hat from?
Guarding the temple on her own.
Yeah, the Kutu hat. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So she's guarding the temple on her own. Yep. And then we run into these 2 characters. This was the only. I mean, this is kind of a giveaway, right? Like we know that they're still nihil, right? Nil. We know it, right?
Mm-hmm.
No way to fool that. I did like the look at my guns. Like we've been storing these guns. Look at my guns part of Maz's castle where they just are like storing a ton of weapons. They interacted, these 2 guys just sweating about how many ships are coming because, nobody saw that the Nil was coming, but we all did. It is a kid's book then. And then she decides to take off her hat and whip it around and use the shield hat like she's supposed to, takes out one of the Nil. I kind of put these together. Yeah.
Kung Lao.
Yeah. Kung Lao. This is really the end, but they did what's his name story in the middle. I didn't want to ruin it, but just in time, the guy yells perfect timing Crix, which means Crix is bringing in the fleet. and they blow up some of Maz's castle. Some of the weapons, I assume. We'll see what happens next week. Still, or in a month. Pretty good.
She's gonna
Still
have
looks
really good insurance on that castle. It gets destroyed a lot.
a lot.
Yeah, right.
There's a
Totally.
lot of stuff in it. How does it not just completely blow up? Because especially with that like cannon room, I don't know. All right, they
She
gave
must
us
have
our
really
little
good contractors to keep rebuilding it.
right. They did give us our mid piece, which I don't understand why they don't break up the story if they're going to give us a mid piece, but they gave us a mid piece again, and this was a breakdown for the Galactic Files of the Jedi Temple.
They really wanted us to know where the kitchens were in this.
Oh, yeah, I don't know why. Well, whatever. Still pretty cool. I mean, people like that. So we put we
Dungeon
pieced together,
layout. You know.
we pieced together the whole story of White Mohawk, and first off, some scoundrels or thieves or whatever you want to call them. Well, they turned out to probably be slavers, right? Like that's what they thought
They
later.
didn't say that. I don't think, but I would.
They hinted
imagine.
at it, like
Yeah.
they kidnapped the guy
Mhm.
because the species that he's from turns out to be these like killers that can just, if you
Yeah.
can train them right, can kill everything.
They're
Well,
kind of like Spartans.
yeah,
That's the best way. Like
the
you
baby
watch
took
the
out
300
somebody's
or whatever.
eye and fucked up a lot of these pirates, so they dropped them off at Maz's castle. And the first thing this baby does is run around and tear apart a droid, start beating it over the head with its own arm. Pretty dope. In the mess, it falls into this bone type helmet and calms down. And you're like, okay, well, there was a break in it, but then you come back. So they end up doing the background story. They bring in this merchant to tell the story of the island and the who's going to murder the name of the crabs. Vondoon crabs, and how the people that he belongs to would go and fight these crabs and use their helmets to calm down. This is very important, actually, kind of, to calm down their rages until their heads would finally grow and bash out of so big that it'd break out of the skulls eventually. And then they say he's using the Force, so they call Sav, and she comes down, and that's how she knows him too. We decided to get a little in depth in this because it does kind of give us, I guess, it makes a couple of us excited because this is kind of can lead to some of this, right? We have these three together. The helmet is made of the same crab that the whole armor is made that the Yuzan Vong would have, and that they incorporated into Darth Krayt. So his whole armor is made exactly from the same crabs, and it had some of the same characteristics. Would you say, JJ? Like,
Yeah.
I think if we take it for the best
I
thing,
mean,
like
it was. We said it all along. It was as far as you're talking about the look of the mask, or just
I'm both. Like the look of the
Yeah.
mask was one thing. We've always been saying that from the
Yeah.
we were the first people on there. Or maybe not, maybe somebody else. But I mean,
it's
since
obvious.
we saw him, it was obvious. First thing we thought, we were like, "Holy crap, we're going to get either the Yuzan or Krayt out of this, hopefully, because it has to give a nod to them." And it did. But it wasn't just the fact that they said the crab, right, and about the armor and all that. It was the fact that in Legends, the crab's armor, one of the reasons the Yuzan would use it because it kind of did something to them. Like it kind of was it was more than just armor, right? It had like these
It affected them.
characteristics. Huh?
Yeah,
It affected them in some way.
yeah. I guess focused their thoughts or energy or rage.
And
I guess focused their rage. I don't know.
Focus their rage, and it wasn't like you think of exoskeleton being dead or like an abandoned shell. It did have a sense of like a being to, like, it could reject. First off, you'd have to kill the person to get it, but two, could also reject the host, right? Like something to that effect.
Oh,
It's not exactly how it is. I'd have to go back and read a couple of books on how to.
Vong's hard to explain in that, like, they're not. I wouldn't really call them Force users, but they're kind of like the anti-Force. I guess would be the best way to explain it in a way.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're connected to the Force. We'll put it that way. In a sense.
In a sense. Well, eventually they had the one that they brought in to convert Krayt from Asherad Het into. So they definitely had the Force. That was to pull out the Jedi. Long story. Either way, but it's kind of interesting that they actually mention the part of the helmet using the calmingness for, what is his name again? Court.
Yep.
Because it kind of gave a nod to the fact of the Vaughn, and which then goes into Krayt. We decided to make sure, guys, we always love Invasion Zero. There is that red cover. That was exclusive. I don't know if you're covering that or not, but you also got Star Wars 10, which is Asherad's first appearance, and then you got one where he gets into the crate suit. Another good book to read though is 18, which has got Nil, which is that bony figure on it on the front cover. And who's the other one on that cover? They're standing back to back. It's got a green label.
Talon?
Yeah, was it Talon? Is it that?
Girl. Yeah,
that's the cover, right?
Yeah, it's Talon.
I'm just trying to see the cover in my head. Yeah, you're right. It's Nil's on the right,
she's in the
left
middle.
side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, but on book 18, there's Nil on the left side,
18.
green thing, and that, and it actually gives a background of how the armor kind of was applied to Crate in that book. So that's another good book to pick up, at least to read a little bit about it and see what was going on. Either way, when people start hearing about it, I hope you should have already gotten these books. We've talked about them enough before. If you haven't, they're probably going to go up. There was one other time that the mask showed up. I have a red mark over this because this book, for the people that are out there, because I swear to God, I get this question all the time. She was in which one did they say she was in? Is it Mando? Yeah,
She was
Mandalorian.
going to come in.
That was somebody pumping and dumping a book, and that's not what it was. So I actually decided we're gonna get rid of that cover altogether. We're just gonna go with the other cover of Doc Afra 35, so we don't get confused. But that crate mask or whatever it is, that's what
you just forced it away.
I know. Do you like?
You don't need to see that cover anymore.
No, never again. Well, because people get confused. They see it, they don't really listen. They just take a picture. They're like, "Oh, cool." Well, yeah, that's because he's saying that no, I'm not. 100 times over. That she was not the officer that was on the bridge. That is not Dr. Afra. And by the way, that person's dead, just so you know. But getting back to this book, to 35. 35 is what first got us excited about it because the mask was identified in the corner, in the Gallery of Peace.
Mm-hmm.
So there we go. That's a little bit of crab armor history, I guess. Next up, we got Ghost of Vader's Castle 3, which has to deal. They brought back our man, Thumb or whatever his name is, the little leprechaun.
Gimli.
Gimli.
Gimli, yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
And the creepy roly-poly that apparently is also a perfect engineer. They brought them back to have a nightmare because everybody's having nightmares in these books. And I actually like the Luke. Doesn't this looks like Luke, right? I was like, oh, Luke. Yeah. Luke.
Well, you don't have Luke up. You have the spaceship up, and the spaceship looks like it has a handlebar mustache. I kind of dig that.
What? No, Luke's right here.
In front of the ship.
Yeah, they use like this
weird.
Luke.
They use like kind of like making him look like Mark. It was Mark Luke. It literally was. I thought Mark Luke, but whatever.
Okay.
So they do they kind of go ahead.
Is it Francavilla, right?
Mm-hmm.
Still doing the interiors, I think, on all these.
I think so. Yeah. So they do the background. They did the background story kind of to remind you what happened in Return to Vader's Castle, where we first saw his name's not Tom. What's his name again? Dom. What's the red guy's the name of the
Gimli? No,
Gimli. Yeah.
No, it's not.
All right, that's not his name. What is his name? It's Hud. Hud. That's his name.
Hud.
You guys are going crazy.
Well, I'm calling him Gimli.
He's not Gimli. His name's Hud. So Hud, they give the background story of Hud. Then Hud has this dream where he runs into. He's on Dagobah. They drop him on Dagobah, and this turns into like what's the swamp thing? The classic swamp monster.
Creature from Black Lagoon.
Creature from the Black Lagoon. A little bit. They do a little Creature of the Black Lagoon kick. They
Steve
find
Horn
out
can't
that
read it. He says this story's too scary.
Who can't do that?
Steve Horn.
Steve Horn said that. Yeah. He's probably right. Yeah,
it made me chuckle, so I had to put it up.
That's fair enough. Yoda's little hut is destroyed. They, for some reason, are standing in the water. They pick up this. You can see the little hollow. They pick it up, and in the hollow, something attacks somebody. That was kind of weird. Did you guys get that? That the person was trying to pimp the planet, even though it was a dump, to sell it for places to stay. Whatever.
It's a tight real estate market.
Yeah, really. Apparently. Yeah. So then
they're trying to refurbish Vader's castle into a hotel.
That's true.
So they literally give you the Black Lagoon. Here he is.
He's going to Mustafar, like this. Times are tight.
That was a Lego thing, which is kind of cool. Then what are these two scenes from? The falling into the water underneath, and then the dead people rising up. I can't remember what it's from, but it's from something.
Lord of the Rings?
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
It is Lord of the Rings.
It is kind of Lord of the Rings.
Is it? Movie
All
right.
Friday the 13th had that with
It
Jason
can also be
too.
Poltergeist.
That's
when
what
they
Yeah,
tell them-
Poltergeist is cool.
So then
It's
Hud
actually,
comes back out. What? Go ahead.
I was going to say it's actually tidal wave of the dead, the creators of Sharknado.
Yeah, I can't believe how much stuff they got away with doing in this book, by the way, too, because they do have Luke Skywalker's dead bony body hanging upside down, gloves still attached on. Pretty cool, I guess. I mean, I thought it was kind of cool. Either way, it's all a dream. HUD just lights a lightsaber, and all of a sudden, the creature from the Black Lagoon runs the other way, even though that didn't work for other people. I don't know why. And Luke magically comes back to life.
Steve Horn know that's the that bottom. That is the creepiest panel in the whole freaking comic book.
Yoda?
No, the one of Luke where Luke kind of turns around and kind of, I don't know if he's about to wink or what.
He's giving you the eyes.
He's giving you that dreamy feathered hair eyes of the 70s.
You come here to me.
And then they give you a little bit of creepy Yoda and a blue thing floating for no reason whatsoever. Cool. Great book.
I was about to ask. I thought he was floating, but he might just be sitting on a stump.
And then, no doubt, of course, we get Graf. She's up because the first time we saw her was when she went to go save him and dressed up as an Inquisitor. So, in what was that? That was the one, Return to Vader's Castle. And she has got a different looking Jackson with them, but they're forming the Z team, I guess. These guys aren't even A or B or C. They're really down the line. But I assume we're going to they have to go record. They got to go save Milo. So, I assume they're going to get somebody else. Well, we know they're going to get somebody else next week, and then they'll go to try to save him at Vader's Castle. All right, so New York Comic Con Online, we kind of hinted that these were here. I wanted to show them all. For all of you, once again, that we're paying to the IG and got it, you're welcome, and I'm glad you guys picked them up because a lot of people are excited that they got number 9 online. I know people in New York might be a little bit ticked because there was no IDW there, but nope. If you need an extra copy, Dom, we probably got one for you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
The Monster Temple Peak, however, is still available, and so is Vader Castle, Their Doom number 1. So if you want more Jar Jar Binks in your life, you can buy that for $10.
Probably wait. Next year it'll be $5.
Yeah, probably be half.
Yeah.
Off. By the way, the other stuff.
So happy, Misa.
Yeah, the stuff from last year that didn't sell is half off right now, or was half off last week. So hopefully it's still half off. Probably is. And if IDW loses it's funny Horn's here because I was talking to Horn about it today, and if I was like, are they going to do pallet sale like they did with Dark Horse when they lost the rights to Star Wars? So we'll see. There might be some cool stuff coming out because you got to get all the stuff out of the warehouse. All right, next up, coming next week, we've got one of my favorite. We got Bosk on the red cover. I know you guys all hate it, so every week I will make sure pointing that out that these are the sweetest covers they're making.
Not even centered.
I know, it's like a standee that you can go and take a picture with Bosk.
Every week you guys literally repeat the exact same thing.
Yeah, none of them are centered. So if you started the first one off center, you might as well follow suit and make them all off center.
The middle is
just don't make it at all.
Middle is anniversary cover.
You could actually get an autograph. You get an art piece right there. Bring it to an artist and have it next to Bosk next to somebody draw something next to.
Absolutely.
Sell it at cons. Make it a convention exclusive.
Yeah.
That you can get the sketches.
Okay. I mean, that's kind of a good idea to buy them, and then you can resell them at cons either way. The middle one is the Sprouse 50th. So just so you know, it's not going to look like that. It's going to look worse, unfortunately. But Dr. Aphra still looks like they're going to do this cover. That's probably not what that's going to look like either. They just never finished off the coloring on it. We get creepy Anakin. Children of the Damned, or was it Omen?
Damien.
Is that what we're doing?
Omen.
Damien.
I still say it also looks like Village of the Damned.
Yeah, whatever. Well, we'll see. We'll have it next time. These are really good. I mean, it's the last one. The last. Is this number 4? 5?
No, second to last one.
Yeah. I mean, it's the last run that they're doing though. They're not doing any more Vader Castles.
Won't see them anymore, unfortunately.
Boo. Coming next week though, we do. I think we're still excited for this, right? Yes.
I think so. I think. Yeah. I am. I don't know about everybody.
I am too. Everybody that just complained that we need to get away from. I mean, I know there's a Jedi in here, but it's supposed to be kind of buddy copish. So hopefully we'll get.
Oh, that's right. The mystery one.
Yeah.
Well, it's like an X-Files type of thing, like X-Files type of story.
Yeah.
Can we play the Law and Order sound as we read it?
Doom. No, I don't think we can. That's copyrighted. No? Hey, speaking of awesome covers, War of Bounty Hunter is going to have a real awesome cover with Boba Fett and a lot of dead red space, so that's kind of cool. This book, by the way, we might see a favorite scoundrel appearing, and I'm not saying that people are saying or that I've actually seen anything inside this book. How would that possibly be possible? But there might be a character in this book that we all enjoy here and is around and lives for a very long time. And actually, JJ already brought up his name once at this point. And said it'd be cool if he showed up in a certain movie in a certain jail cell. I'm not saying he would show up, but if he does, he might show up in this book. Either way, there's a variant, and then this is not going to be the coolest of books because that Ahsoka one looks so cool. They're going to ruin it with the Sprouse 50. So there you go.
Well, at least I mean the color of purple won't mix with the gold, but at least it will frame that a little bit better, so it doesn't look like.
You think that's going to be purple when that shows up tomorrow? Does anybody know who got this book? Did anybody buy this book?
The center of it will be purple.
Because Penguin House sent you your books already. Did anybody get this, and is it purple?
It's not out yet.
No, but I'm saying it's going to have the gold border around it.
I got it.
So it'll fill that empty space.
All right. FOC. I just gave it away. Okay. FOC. FOC, we got Dr. Afra coming out. We're actually going to get this actually looks pretty good. We're going back to like dealing with the like rich mafia family and using Afra. But I mean, it's setting up into the next part of the Crimson Wars, but still, at least that's better than when they were doing whatever they were doing before this last run. You know, this run's been pretty good the last 3 or 4.
Who's the other person in the hand? Is that just
it's
Lucky?
Lucky. It's
Is
Lucky.
that Lucky? Okay.
Sands. It's Lucky Sands and Afra.
Is it referencing Spaceballs when Lord Helmet is playing with his toys?
It also looks like the Vader cover from the old Star Wars series from Marvel. That Vader had the chess pieces on the cover.
Hey, look at that.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does. And then we'll have number 2 for Trail of the Shadows. So hopefully it's good. Once again, shooting people with blasters. That's nice. And that's all we have for we try to speed through it. That's all we have for the reviews. That was supposed to be short. I don't think so. No, it's not purple, or nobody got that cover.
Either or both.
I don't know.
It sold really well online. Like I've seen it online selling out. So
oh, cool.
At online shops. So
Ahsoka's on the cover.
The Ahsoka one, yeah, because it looks sweet there, but you never know what's going to show up. Hey, right. Sean, what's going on? All right, and Steve, I didn't say hi. Steve, good to see you.
Lots of
minutes. Rolling through next.
Next, we are going. What are we going through next? Sorry, I'm trying to catch up on this.
We had exclusive
are we
covers.
Doing exclusives? Yeah, we're going to do con exclusive covers. This con. Here we go. Who's got it?
I got it.
Excellent.
We're back with the Galaxy of exclusive covers. Comic Cons, various Comic Cons, not just those 4 I put down there, but those are the easiest logos to find. So let's kick it off. Next slide. All right, so we'll start off in the Dark Horse era. So the volume 2 of the Dark Horse, the 2013 volume. So you had a Lamole Comic Con, which I'm pretty sure I tried to put the limited 2 or the print run on there, although to be honest, it doesn't really matter. And in the end, some of them were like 500, 1500. Like it was really hard to nail down. So I usually put a question mark if I didn't know exactly what it was. So you'll see a lot of question marks on the limited 2 part. But so that's a nice Boba Fett cover. This one you don't see too often for Star Wars 7. Also the Dark Horse 2013 run. It was a San Diego Comic Con exclusive. So smoking Vader. I don't know why he's smoking. But
it looks like it's a toy that somebody started melting.
Yep. Use the magnifying glass. So next up, the Star Wars, which is the Lucas draft version of that Dark Horse run. So it took Lucas's original screenplay. So they had a New York Comic Con, which was obviously a sketch cover released at 1,000 copies. That's a nice one. Mm-hmm. Now, the one on the right, the Star Wars Legacy number 1, that's volume 2. So it's the 2013 volume. Limited to 1,000 copies is what I could find. But this is super rare. Like, it's hard to freaking find this cover, especially anything high grade. So that was from a WonderCon in Anaheim back in 2013. I don't think
I've ever seen that cover.
Yeah. Dan Panosian, too.
Yeah. And as a disclaimer here, so things I didn't include were the RRP covers, like that Diamond gives out at cons and stuff to like the retailers. I didn't include those in this. That can be a different segment at some time. And also, I picked and choose because if I did all the Galaxy or all the exclusive covers of all the cons that are Star Wars, we'd be here for like 5 hours. So I tried to pick ones that people might not have seen before as we go through this. So hopefully there's some in here that people haven't seen.
Yeah. But, and if you have others, put them in the comments then.
Let us know if there's a favorite one you have that I missed or left out or whatever. But let me know. All right, so Son of Dathomir had a few exclusive covers. So you had the San Diego Comic Con, which again I thought maybe 1,000 copies, and then there was a Wizard World, which I don't know. I couldn't figure out what Wizard World, like Texas or whatever, because there is more than one. But they put it at 1,000 copies, and there is a sketch version of this that is limited to 500 copies.
500, yeah.
But I always like this cover because I could be wrong, but it's one of the few, if not only, covers where you see Gar Saxon and Rootcast kind of there in the background behind the wall. So, yep. But a great cover there. So, and of course you get the Darksaber, so which is what the story is known most for.
Exactly.
So. Yep.
That sketch cover is getting kind of hard to find too.
Well, both of them are.
Yep. And so now we'll get into the Marvel era. So again, Star Wars #1 had about 1 billion exclusive covers, so there was more than one. I picked this one because you don't see it too often, which was from the Tidewater Comic Con, which I have no idea where that is. I assume it's in like Florida or something. I have no idea where that is. I didn't look it up. But yeah, it's a nice cover. A little Boba Fett helmet in the background, kind of looming over it. But not a lot of detail. Definitely watercolor to it. And then number 6 on the right there is an interesting cover you don't see too much from a Montreal Comic Con. So that was in 2016 that came out, but a nice exclusive there. Kind of has a classic Star Wars look.
Yeah.
And then next up, we got Star Wars #7 from that same run. This was from Kansas City Comic Con and was 3,000 copies. But again, one you don't see very often.
No.
Yeah. I actually bought this in a 9.6 once for like $50. But yeah, you don't see it too often. And the Han Solo #1 comes from Europe, Star Wars Celebration Europe. So yeah, so
perfect.
Kind of like that.
Gonna have kind of has that watercolor look. Now this is one of my favorites. So I was trying to avoid including like if there was a sketch and a regular cover, like including versions of both, but I did it for this one just because I like it. Yeah, but so these were Emerald City Comic Con for Princess Leia #1, and you had a Granoff Granoff, and I included the sketch one because you don't see an Audi Granoff sketch cover very often.
Yeah.
So nice to include these ones, and like I said, it's always a great cover to include a nice Granoff cover.
Yeah.
Didn't know what the sketch was limited to. Couldn't figure that out.
I have that cover, the regular one, the 3,000 copy.
Yeah.
Well, this is supposed to be 15. And this is the problem with some of these con, especially the modern day con ones. They have their rollover there too. So you really never know. I mean,
that's why I said the number really doesn't matter in the end because there's probably more out there no matter what you think. So,
it's just a number.
Like this is another one. This Calgary Expo Poe Dameron #1, which everybody's opinion on the panel is this or is this not an Akira homage? That's my first thought. Maybe not. I don't know. I mean, it looks a little bit like it, but
it kind of does now that you say that.
Yeah, now that you pointed out, it does. I'd have never picked up on it until you said it.
But hard to find. Again, I have no idea what it's limited to. It probably doesn't matter because there's probably more out there than you think, but they appear to be buried. So, and then you got Emerald City Comic Con for Poe Dameron #1, which was one of the these two covers were great. The actual Poe covers kind of sucked.
Yeah,
the actual Poe book, to be honest. But yeah, so
I like some of the variants that came a little bit later, but
he did have good variants. Like there was is it Aha variant, and some of the Mayhew ones are awesome in that run. But yeah, the covers for #1, which I think were a couple of Cassidy and other ones, just weren't very good. But these two are nice. So. Let's see. Next up, you got Doc Afra #8. This was from a Denver Comic Con, and was released in 3 versions. So there's actually 3 versions of this. There's like this. There's a virgin, like kind of color fade, and then there's like black and white where her glasses are actually
same as is that the same as? Isn't there a regular version of this too? Like in the for the regular LCSs.
I don't think so.
Another version of this too. There was 3 versions. I didn't think all 3 were. Okay, go ahead.
All 3 were Brain Trust.
Were they
Comic Con exclusives? Yeah. Yep. So
should have looked these over.
Yep. And then you had a Shattered Empire #1. Yeah. Good old Phil Noto cover. So, which I guess is a cover homage, but Long Beach Comic Con is where that one came from. And also apparently Golden Apple and Gamefly, which I didn't know Gamefly had exclusive Star Wars covers, but they ended up somehow with their logo on that one. So I assume they sold it somehow. But
I kind of miss GameFly. I used to play a lot of stuff on there.
I don't even know if it still exists. It's a good question.
I don't either.
I used to use it back in the day.
Let you try out a bunch of stuff.
Yep.
That was the Netflix version of
A video
Yeah,
game. Yep.
Video games. Yeah.
Yep. Always good to get Madden that way. That way I didn't have to buy it every year and you'd have to update a roster. You get it through that. Anyways. So Vader Down has again, like Star Wars number one, a lot of exclusives. So I could be here all day probably listing these. These are just a couple of the con exclusives. So first up, we got number one, which uses that kind of Revenge of the Sith poster esque style to it. And there are different flavors of this. There's a virgin and there's also black and white. And then this one was kind of interesting in that this was the Northeast Comic Con cover on the right there. And Sia Ohm is the artist who normally does like a watercolor thing, but they worked this out so it was a sketch. And the color version of this is actually the Phantom variant for Vader Down. So, but yeah, Northeast Comic Con have nowhere where Northeast Comic Con was, but they apparently had an exclusive.
Interesting.
somewhere in the Northeast.
I was just going to say, it's got to be in the North.
Yeah, I assume New Englandish area, but I have no idea.
Or the Southwest, either or.
Yeah,
Maybe Asia somewhere.
it's a misdirection.
Arizona, Texas.
Speaking of Asia, so going a little bit overseas here, we got two other Vader Down ones. We got which I have a signed copy of back there, of Phil Noto doing a poster homage for Vader Down with Afra and Vader on it. That was from Vienna Comic Con. And then on the right, you have one that you'll probably see in a giveaway soon, but from the Asia PopCon. So it was a Vader Down number one. And this one you don't see a lot of at all. Like I tried to look it up on eBay and didn't really find any listings or anything like that. So I had to get a copy or two from the United Arab Emirates to send to me. But all right, next slide. So going on to the IDW books, we got Star Wars Adventures number one, the first volume. You had the Granite City Comic Con cover again. So this adventure run with the convention exclusives, unfortunately, they kind of just took for a lot of them, took it and either did a virgin or a black and white. So they were kind of boring. So I included actually be Star Wars Adventure number two on the right, which is basically just I believe a Baltimore. Was it Baltimore?
If you mean, yeah. Yes, and yes. And
yeah.
yes.
So that they released that one out. And again, it's just the cover for number two, but black and white. So not very exciting, but
no, I hate that.
Yeah. Kind of lame. They did do one here. I included a number 23 because it's a convention exclusive at San Diego Comic Con. It was actually a Tony Fleece cover.
Hey, Tony.
Yeah. So and then we have the popular San Diego Comic Con cover that is the Virgin. Is it Elsa? I'm not going to say her name right. Chetir cover of Ahsoka and Padme, which has kind of become famous for being kind of the first canon Ahsoka book.
Yeah. That showed up at two cons, though. It showed up to con after that.
Again, I put the print number down. So I do know at San Diego Comic Con is what it was most famous for because they had 500 sets.
First. Yeah.
They had 500 sets available. So there are other versions of this in the other Forces of Destiny's book.
Was it Washington? Was it Emerald that showed? It showed up to Emerald.
Yeah. And that's another tricky thing with IDW is they put con exclusives, but they show up other places, other cons.
Well, everybody does that. Well, that's how it used to be before all of them sold out all the time. Like they just roll out to the next one or whatever. If their damaged overages would come out, they'd get rid of them.
Yep. So the IDW ones are tricky.
Yeah,
so again, we saw these. These are some of the IDW ones they sold recently. So we got the Adventures 2020. So the second volume, number one. Yep. That's one you get in the past con exclusives now. So you can get it super cheap if you want. The Star Wars High Republic Adventures number 6 was a con exclusive. Known for having, I don't know this. What is it? San Diego Comic Con, I think was what they did.
Yeah,
con at home. Yeah, so just released that. That's a good one. Has a couple of first appearances in there, so that's why it became popular. Cool. Sold out quick.
Yeah, comes polybag though. I hate that.
Yeah.
Watch out for that corner scuffing.
That's true. They'll get you. All right, so these I included as bonuses to our things because they're kind of sort of not comics. They're program books.
What?
Yeah, so these I figured people probably haven't seen them as much before. So These were all from Dallas Comic Cons in the mid 2000s. So the first one, they did one about every Comic Con or every year. I think they skipped 1 year. So the first one there, you got the Kit Fisto art, which I think was Dan Barrington on the left, and then on the right, you got Phil Noto doing an A-list Akira, and these were flip books too. So on one side, you'd have like one set of characters. Like think on the Noto one is Harley Quinn on the other side.
Okay.
So one side is that, and one side Star Wars. So some of these are actually back covers, but I've seen them sent into CGC, and they end up on the front. So I think because they're a true flip book, they let you do either cover on the front.
Let you pick how you want to list it.
Yeah. So
there's a Boba Fett cover too.
Jesus.
Yep. I'm getting to that one. That's on the next one.
Comment clear.
Yep. So an Adam Hughes, brilliantly drawn Adam Hughes cover there in 2004.
Ooh,
So
that's
all right, now I gotta go find that.
yeah.
That
So
one
that's
on the left is
2004.
tight, yeah.
Yep. The one on the right is a little slave Leia by Mark Brooks. So really Mark Brooks art. So
Interesting.
yeah.
Again,
Again, I have no idea. No idea on
style
numbers.
became.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you see them pop up every so often. No idea what the numbers were released or anything like that on these. So yeah, but yeah, good books.
Thousands. Tons of thousands.
Yeah, I'm sure it's whoever was admitted to the con or whoever paid for it. But this page is for Dom here. You had the Dave Dorman, which was the 2006 Boba Fett, which I'm pretty sure is homage to something, but I couldn't figure out what.
It looks like he's holding Marion from Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah, it looks like So I don't know. Don't know what it was supposed to maybe be, or if it's just wholly original. It just looks familiar, but
that's not a. That's not a Gone with the Wind homage. Or something.
It kind of looks like it, but I think that's just his art style. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't tell you when the last time I watched Gone with the Wind was. I think it was like middle school or something for a book report. But anyways, the last thing is from an Imperial Valley Comic Con, which was last year. You don't see too much of it. I assume they did this in person. But yeah, so there is a nice Boba Fett cover by an artist I've never heard of. It's Jesus Perzada or something like that. That's the name. But pretty limited. They did 125 of the trade and then only 25 of kind of that zoomed in version cover. But,
yeah, how can you not do Star Wars themed if you're in Imperial Valley?
Exactly.
Yeah. Again, I don't even know where that is. But interesting
Boba
books.
Fett, the 25, the version cover. I seen a nice 9.6 go for $4,000.
Yeah, they sell for a crazy amount on eBay.
Yeah,
most of these I listed in here. By the way, for anybody that does want to pick any up, are cheap. You can get all pretty much for less than triple digits for the vast majority of them. These ones that are the bonus picks are super hard to find, so they'll probably run you more than that.
Make sure you yell at him for triple digits now, because he's talking money. So 3 triple digits for a free book you got for going to con.
Does that include the decimal point?
Yes.
Yes.
So with the dollar.
Yes. If anybody out there finds those books, just send them to me. I'll send you my address and the DM. So good.
I've been looking for that Hughes, and I found one about 6 months ago on the CGC boards that a guy was selling for like $250. I think it was a 9.6 or 9. Yeah, it's 9.6. I was like, I should buy it. And I waited, and then his post was gone. So I assume he sold it to somebody. But
yeah, that's I got one. I got to look.
I should have just bought that. Well, yeah, but those are exclusive covers, so hope everybody enjoyed them.
Valley, something's in California. All right.
So, like I said, if I missed any, or anybody has a favorite, or anybody really likes one, throw it in the comments. Let us know. And if you have a subject you'd like to see covered, something like that in the future, be it foreign variants or store variants or any other kind of exclusive variant, let us know too.
Yeah, we're gonna keep doing them. Yep. All right, let's go over. Me and JJ are gonna do Star Wars toys because we got some toy people on, I guess. What is this?
Be a fun one.
Here we go. The fail is strong with these ones. The Star Wars social media marketing and products gone wildly wrong. Part 2. I think this is just gonna keep. We're just gonna keep rolling this out because it's fun. Yeah, the aisles in 2019 compared to that 199. I remember everybody saying, "Oh, we can't see it." Awesome.
Can't see it.
I'm not sharing. I'm sharing with myself. Well, let me share with
you. Marco needs to share.
Yeah, I need to share. All right, where is it?
Does not play well with that.
Does not. Got D downgrade for that. All right, here we go.
These are my pictures. I'm gonna take them and go home.
What is the Lego Star Wars thing? What is that?
Star Wars. It was a bootleg one. I just found online.
Oh, Star Wars. Okay, cool.
Star Wars.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But apparently, they decided to turn Darth Vader into having cornrows. I don't know what that's supposed to be.
Is that what that is? I don't know.
I don't know. It looks kind of like it.
I mean, who knows what it's got a gun and a lightsaber gun and a gun.
Bootleg toys are weird. So
yeah, so we're gonna do a couple, but there's a ton of great bootleg toys.
Yep.
Just a ton. And we're gonna do a couple and kind of go over some of them.
Yep.
I think we're gonna specialty down to two main areas. But
so this first section here, these are real toys, just so everybody knows. These things were actually released and set out on the market at some point somewhere for some reason.
Jedi Marcus. No, actually the Jabba the Hutt bag was not.
Yeah, that's true. That was not. That's concept art. But yeah.
But
I want that Lando stash though.
The Lando is
that was at a celebration, I think. But yeah.
Detonator, it was. In Detonator 5, was it 5? Detonator hot potato?
Yep.
Hey, I have the
hot potato. Oh, there's a potato head.
I have the potato heads. No, this the Detonator.
I don't know.
Potato.
So, first off, somebody has to
Detonator hot. Oh, I got you.
Somebody has to explain to me whose idea it was to make a toy in the 80s where you could pull Luke out of the tauntaun.
Yeah.
That was a big toy back in the 80s.
Yes, it was.
I had that one.
I had it.
I don't think that would fly nowadays. I could be wrong.
That was my tauntaun. Was the one that the cut open.
I had the regular one, and I was sad because I didn't have the lukewarm issue.
And I don't know, a thermal detonator hot potato game seems kind of like a bad idea for kids. It is ages 4 and up, though.
I don't know. I kind of like it. I'd have gave it to my kids. I'd have been like, here.
I have to point out the names. The names for the Mr. Potato Heads are Master Yoda. I think the one for Chewbacca was like Chip. I don't even know why they changed it. It was like Chewbacca or something.
Yeah, I don't know why they did.
Oh, well.
I didn't even know they had a Yoda. I have several versions of the
turbo tank
and Darth Vader.
Look at the turbo tank.
Yeah, so the turbo tank looks fine head on, right? Yeah, until you're like, turn that box art a little sideways there, and and then this is kind of the infamous Lego where they did a Republic gunship. Anybody notice what's wrong with that?
I just looked
the
at
logo.
One of these in the Lego store like 2 weeks ago.
It's the Emperor's.
It's the Emperor Lego on the or Empire Lego on the Republic gunship. Well planned out by Lego there.
Right there. Yeah. That's what you. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh wow! I didn't.
Oh yeah. This.
I'm gonna let Marco explain this one. This was his favorite.
Worst.
You go on this one, Marco.
So George decided that he wanted to make himself as part of Star Wars. He wanted to actually be in it. So he created a character for himself and then his entire family. Like that's his son. And who is the rest of them? Whatever. Either way, don't buy
sister.
this.
I think was one or something.
Yeah, his sister, and then it's definitely not his wife because they were gone at that time. So,
nope.
But yeah, definitely don't buy this. It's garbage. By the way, which one is he again? He's this one right here.
He's the senator or whatever it is.
Yeah, senator. A senator. So that's what this is about. He literally created something so that he could put himself in the storyline. Yeah, look at that. Oh my god. And then have his family in the storyline.
I love the box art too. You imagine who the artist was that had like, hey, I want you to put my face and my son's face on young Anakin body.
You mind if I just Photoshop it, George? Do what you got to do.
Yeah, I mean, for everybody who thinks him and his wife ex-wife had a great relationship after they split, I'm pretty much sure this is just him crapping on her. So there you go. And then what is this one?
So these are a couple fun ones. So this was the thing. I don't know much about this. Somebody else may know that collects more Star Wars toys from the 80s. But there was this deal where you mailed in, like it was
the first thing.
Yeah, you mailed in, and all they sent you is this empty box standeage.
Correct.
Yeah, so they didn't have any
early bird.
And it was like $30 or something, wasn't it? It was kind of expensive.
So George wouldn't let the toy. He wouldn't actually even give people the like rough art of what the characters were supposed to be because he didn't actually kind of know what it was. But beyond that, he didn't want it leaking out there. So he said he didn't want to leak it out. He didn't actually know because if you look at the McQuarrie art and then what they had to do to get the costumes done in time, he just didn't have a lot of time getting out there. He didn't actually know what a lot of these were going to be. He was trying to sell the licensing and he couldn't sell the licensing. He would only sell the licensing to somebody if they wouldn't require, that would be under a year before they put the stuff together. So they pretty much, and it takes over a year, take a year and a half just to get a toy line up. So he gave them like 6 months. They didn't really know what it was about, but they started getting some, so they went for some art. So they did. There was no possible way, because they were still scalping out of the play school stuff or the play whatever those little weird characters are. So there's no way they could have got the characters done yet, but they had the rough drafts of what they were supposed to look like. So they sold you for that Christmas, because they had to get it out for Christmas time. They sold you this thing, which you'd get in the mail. This is like what you get in the mail and you could give to the kids. And then eventually these characters are what you were supposed to get mailed to you in like this brown box and the thing. And like, you know what I mean? In the mail after they were being made. And that's what it cost you. But that's not what, I mean, some people didn't get any of this shit, but
apparently this thing goes for a lot of money nowadays.
it does.
Yes, it does.
Like crazy amount of
In-
money.
In main condition, those things go for a fortune.
Use your imagination, kids.
Yeah.
It
Well,
was
no,
just-
I mean, you were supposed to get these toys. You were supposed to, this was like your promise that you're, and like everybody makes fun of it because it's like, it's in the
An
80s,
IOU.
you know? Huh?
It was
an IOU.
Yep.
Yeah, it was an IOU.
Yep.
Yeah, it was 100%
And
an
it was
IOU of what they were going to give you.
It was
And then
called
they
the
didn't even-
early bird special.
Is that what it was called?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
so.
go back one real quick.
I did.
I just had to point out the for Hasbro. I think it was Hasbro who came out. But so the great idea to launch the figure that is the drug dealer to
The drug dealer,
Obi-Wan
yeah.
trying to sell death sticks. Mind you, complete
want
with
some.
a miniature bar that includes a drink and also the lab kit.
Yeah. Awesome. That's a good idea. Every kid needs one of those.
Every kid needs a drug dealer action
for,
figure.
For it up. For it up.
Exactly.
For all those little kids that you need to teach how to deal
Talking about,
drugs.
he's a bounty hunter now.
Death sticks, I mean,
Sell that death
It's
stick.
not a female bounty hunter. All right. Next up, this is one I forced JJ to put up there.
Mhm.
Because it goes along with the canon one. If you don't know why this is funny, these are swimmer divers. But if you, JJ he wouldn't even.
I
make this
didn't
picture
even-
big. Yeah, he
Yep.
refused to do
sure, there's.
I did not know what he was.
Yeah, and I was like, wow, that's what they were selling to kids. So that's fun. That's enough
I
said
think
about
this-
that.
So that actually got out, right? Like that was a
Yeah,
product
this is
out,
it. Yeah,
and they
no, in
pulled
stores.
it. I think they
Yeah.
pulled it from shelves, but yeah.
But moms across the nation were buying.
Wait, what
it.
was it supposed to do?
Soccer mom.
It's a-
They're
So it's a
the
dive
pool toys
toy.
you throw- yeah, the dive toys. The pool toys you throw in the pool or
And
the
they
lake
sink.
and
Or
kids
the
play with
bathtub.
I guess.
Or mom.
Hey,
No one
no,
else
no,
is
no,
around
no,
with a
no,
nice
no,
glass of
no,
wine.
you pervs. All right.
Dirty
Oh,
thoughts.
where's my toys?
Yeah, for those super Star Wars fans. All right. Anyways, Star Wars almost like the real thing. Oh, bootlegs. I love bootlegs.
Mhm.
A lot of them are expensive, and there's some interesting stuff we'll talk about in bootlegs too. But
Yep.
dude,
Just-
Darth Macho. Darth
These
Macho.
are ones with the Darth Macho. Which some of these I put on this page are actual like bootlegs.
Ampru and Owen aren't real. That's just somebody.
No, those are like that and the Darth Macho were mock-ups by like well, actually they were. I think they actually sold the Darth Macho thing, but
They
it was
did,
like a custom action figure maker person.
Yeah. I think
But-
the same for the Baru, and I think.
Yep.
Was it? I
Oh,
thought the guy
yeah.
just drew that stuff up. I didn't think because that came. There's a whole set of that.
No,
type
I
of
think
stuff.
they actually sold them.
The
Yeah.
saddest
really?
part
I
is
love that.
if they'd have done that, Uncle Owen and Aunt Baru, they'd have made billions. So many people have requested
yes.
that they actually make those toys, and people all over are like, "Dude, I will buy 5 of them."
I want the thing. I mean, like
The lion
the-
thing. I want lion thing.
The
that
lion
lion
thing. I
thing.
want that lion thing.
Yeah,
What I want
lion
is,
thing.
screw the FX series of lightsabers. I want my stick bang.
Yeah, I need some stick bang.
Stick bang from China.
Dude, I love the description of the 3-bag for the Star
Wars years.
Yeah,
Star
that's
Wars.
Star Wars.
is
Yeah,
karate
so-
farmer.
Yeah, it's
You
a
don't get any
Karate
Star
Kid.
Warsier than this.
Is that the Karate Kid?
It's the Karate Kid matchup. There you see, I zoomed in on the
This
Mr.
is-
Miyagi slash Yoda face.
Why is there a hand on the end of his
yeah, the
lightsaber?
Mr. Miyagi's the wise puppet.
Why? That's what you have a problem with, not the fact that he's on like Marty McFly's
Hoverboard?
skateboard
Yeah,
down there.
hoverboard.
Who wouldn't want a hoverboard?
Door
They have one.
ladder. Door
Oh
ladder.
Jesus!
Whatever that. Door ladder's got grenades. By the way, just he has like. It's like if Rob was drawing them, no feet, but he somehow attached pockets, grenades, and more pouches to Darth. No, sorry, that's not his name.
I thought that was
Door
just a
later.
melted figure that
later.
was in a bag.
Oh yeah, dude,
Yep.
that's awesome. That's awesome. So we're gonna actually cover 2 actual lines that are very collectible. This is the Turkish, the Yuza. These are very popular. Now listen, if you're going like, oh, I want to see how popular they are, and you go online, you're like, they're only $40. No. Those are the remakes of these. Like they actually remade these because they are so popular. These things are like in the 30s or in the thousands of dollars, especially if you can get them graded or in bubbles. Like the raw, if you get just a graded figure of these, it's a couple $1,000s for some of these.
Does Blue Stars have a gun or a saber?
Blue Stars has a G.I. Joe gun that he put in there for like Robot's gun.
Nice.
And then Chewbacca, there's two versions of Chewbacca. One was called Lion Man and the other was called Monkey Man. Like that's what the transition was. Like they did a lot of weird translations. Can somebody let him in?
I got it.
Thank you. Then they did have the Imperial Starfighter, which was 5. I mean, the names were kind of weird. This one right here, though, Headman. There's like, I think there's two known carded versions of this and one raw. And Bruce Springsteen, that mother snucker.
Yes.
I think he owns like the top grade of that carded Headman. As a matter of fact,
I want to know why does the Imperial Gunner just sitting at a remote control?
It's like $80,000.
Yeah. So is that?
We'll talk about this, but the card in the middle, Headman. I know you guys are laughing. That thing, the original, is like $80,000. Hypothetically, is what they think. It's probably going to go for more than that the next time it comes up for sale.
Shield?
No.
Yes, I'm not.
I also got to compliment him on just moving the S and calling it Star Wars or Star Wars. Star War.
And then the last part was the Imperial Gunner. I think is also one of the more classic ones because the guy is playing on a calculator. The gunner is.
This is a TV
remote. I think.
No, it's a calculator. It's a calculator. Yeah,
that makes it even worse.
Yeah, no, it's a calculator. Yeah, 100% a calculator.
So did they do that? You think because that's what a kid would do is use a calculator as a pretend console, or were they literally?
Because it's what they had lying around the office that day.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. I think it's what they. I mean, it was a different time in Turkey at that point, I guess. But these figures were actually done pretty well. These were considered like the Kenner version of not like quality of knockoffs. Like these are the creme de la mint of knockoffs for the time.
They were the 3D printers of their day.
I'm sure
because like technically like it was so separated that like these were like they weren't government like approved knockoffs, but they were the next closest bleeping thing to be it. You know what I mean?
I'm pretty sure that's what like every guy selling like the watches in his trench coat in Times Square will tell you. Like my Rolexes are the best knockoff Rolexes.
Okay, well in the knockoff collecting industry, like these are the gold standard of they're the gold standard of knockoffs.
And I know it's so obvious that I don't know if you guys, I don't know if you mentioned it or not. Maybe I was laughing. So instead of Star Wars, it's Stars War, one word. Yes. Stars War.
Yeah. Stars
completely
War.
different.
Yeah. You don't remember the Stars War?
There's so many of these. There's a whole line of these. And there's a second version too. There's a second version of them too. But the first original line, because I think the second line came out in 2000. The original line of these is really expensive once again, and a lot of them have a transition, like the words mean something else. Like I said, like Lion Man or something like that.
And oh my God, that one, the card is unpunched. Oh my God. Oh,
well, that's a reproduction. That's a bootleg of the bootleg.
We all know unpunched is like. Yeah.
That's the reprint.
Wow.
Okay, now we'll go from Turkey to Hungary, which is like the king apparently too of. Well, so this is the big part. Like they call some of these bootlegs of bootlegs, but technically, I think we'd call it generations. This is Leia. Leia came with 2 guns. She came with a green gun and a red gun, so they used the photocopy of poster. What is that? Is that poster C? From Star Wars, it is, isn't it? Yeah. They use a photocopy of poster C. They would
black and white photocopy, mind you, not color.
Yeah, no, they would. Oh no! The cardboard was all cruddy cardboard. So this is cardboard, and they used photocopy on cardboard and then a colored print. These were not as well done as the Turkish or the Uzas, and they would come in multiple colors. And they would staple the plastic to keep the figure in there. As you can see, the staples. That's legit. Like that's how this.
We don't have glue. No glue. No glue.
Did Bartles and James, or what I call Beavis
their parents?
Did they pose this Leia over here because they really should lower the little wraparound?
The little wraparound thing. Yeah. Probably.
Yeah, it certainly looks like
where they
some
belong.
alien is reaching around and trying to cop a feel on Leia. That's what
Also came in a green. The gun also came in green. The blaster, which was considered the Bespin blaster, also came in red.
Oh, it's a blaster. I thought she had a
It was a
lightsaber.
saber.
of her own.
Yeah,
No, it's a
lightsaber.
blaster, and I actually saw one of these. I saw one of these with a red blaster. Let me see what the price. I think.
Isn't that
I
technically a
I think I saw it for almost $2,000. So
Actually,
like not in good condition. Like we're talking like, mid for as far as toys. I think it's like a 50 or something like that.
I don't know. Do you guys know the story of the Hungarian bootleg comics?
No, we'll get into that in a little bit though. We're not talking bootleg comics yet. There's a bunch of these Darth Vaders produced too. Some of them had a red lightsaber.
Jedi
Some
Visators.
Vaders. Or yeah, Jedi Vistas.
Zaters.
They had different capes on them too.
It was Obi-Wan's cape, no?
We also had the Chewbacca. There's 3 versions.
The
of
eyes.
Eyes.
Wow.
Lack of eyes. It's like,
Yeah, that's
Throwing
great.
out Chewbacca.
But one of the best characters I think they did
Don't
for
surprise the
articulation
Wookiee.
was Luke Skywalker with his samurai sword.
Nice.
That's pretty cool.
And so the same blaster. And as you can see, the original ones and even the bootlegs of the original ones have staples. They would staple down the
Bubble.
not just the bubble, their weapons. Do you see that?
Oh,
Do you see
yeah.
that?
Oh, yeah, I see.
Bent bent to the
They
middle there.
totally stapled it on the card.
Yep, they stapled it onto the card.
Oh, great.
So for a while, this is probably one of the best though. The Yoda, there's 3 different versions.
Naked Yoda.
Yeah, well, that's a naked one. There's a
Never
couple
had
different versions
Yoda.
of this Yoda too. Kind of creepy.
Look how they give
Pretty
him brown
creepy.
arms and legs.
And then there's this masterpiece.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did they put wait? Did they put Ewok arms and legs on Yoda?
No, different.
No. Oh, okay.
different stuff.
It is,
No, but these molds.
He looks
the
like a
molds,
tree.
he
The
does look
molds
like a
for these figures actually sold in I think they sold in they had have sold in the 90s. They sold in the 90s, and then people started to create what some people would consider bootlegs, but I don't think you can consider them bootlegs. So I decided to break down so you could tell the difference. Besides the price, when you're paying for this thing, you're all of a sudden somebody wants $5,000 for it. Yeah, and then you see one.
Yeah,
for
I don't know
$40.
why that Ewok is inappropriate, but something about that Ewok that screams inappropriate to me.
If you see $40, you got to check the packaging real quickly. So if you look at the first packaging with the yellow, if you look at how close together the words are on the top portion and the bulkiness of them compared to right underneath the C and the S, you can see there's gapping. It's a different font. The same with the Jedi. It's a very thin font on the Generation 1 stuff. The bootlegs is what they used to call them. The stuff that they did in the 89, which is not, I wouldn't consider bootleg. I consider it Generation 2. And I think they're finally going to move that way. It did have a little bit of a space and a little bit more of a wider Jedi when they were saying Jedi. I want to compare the third version, the 2000 version, when they did it again. That's the bottom one where you actually see the Jedi is hugely spaced out in almost block letters.
No staple.
There is. They're staple. They staple them. Yeah, I just didn't show you the staples.
Oh, I was going to say, it looks like it was just glue on them.
No, they staple all these, and they staple. That's the only way pretty much to tell because the figures are actually still done out of the same original molds. So when you're looking at them, all the figures look exactly the same because somebody bought the molds. The only thing you can tell the difference about the packaging is, there's a little bit difference in some of them, obviously, like toy people can tell because of the patent marks or whatever on it. But if you're looking online and all of a sudden you see this bottom one, that's the 3rd generation version of this. So yeah, it's going to be way cheaper than the other, even the orange. It comes in blue, orange, yellow, red. So the color doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
It actually has to do everything with font. I don't know if
I'm
that's
assuming that none of these have that stamp on the bottom of the foot or the back of the thigh.
It's not, Yeah, it's not like
Why
that.
are they buying the mold? They don't have penicillin over there, or they just
Had to sneak one in.
Somebody mute him. All right. So that's what we got. That's what we got on bootlegs. We'll probably do some more bootlegs because we like to do them. I hope you guys like them. We'll probably do some type of bootlegs coming up here sooner than later for the next week. What do we have?
Marco, there's
Yeah.
sorry. There's actually a book that actually went for a couple of $100,000, almost 60,000.
For which one?
Boba Fett.
Boba
Fett from the ones
so
in
the
the show.
Boba Fett ones, you could actually tell the Boba Fett ones because in the when they second molded them, there's actually a mark for when whoever bought the mold on the Boba, they must have done something to the molding because there's actually, I think, a divot in the back portion of the second molding for that version. So, yeah, those Bobas on both of them, the Hungarian and the Turkish Boba. The coloring, I think, is probably one of the best coloring on the Turkish on the use. Don't you like? Is that the one that went for? What'd you say? Go for, Dom?
It went for about last time I seen it was about almost $70,000.
Yeah.
In auction.
Was that for the Hungarian or was that for the use?
The Hungarian.
Easy.
The Hungarian.
Oh, the Hungarian. Jesus.
Yeah, Hungarian.
Well, so that's it.
Boba Fett's sell in any country, and the Mexican Boba Fett's, the first generation, sell for a lot of money. The great ones. There's a lot.
Hey Nash, what's going on? Or Nash, oh man, cool man. It's good to see us here. The one thing that's funny is originally everybody was going after the Turkish, but some of those figures actually, there were even the Gen 1 stuff originally turned up, and it seemed to be there was obviously not a headman, but a lot of them turning up. Where when they started going to try to figure out the Hungarian stuff before the Gen 2 and Gen 3 stuff, all of a sudden, then every collector needed to have that. So then they went over there and they just spiked the price, spiked the shit out of the price.
Oh, yeah.
But we'll give you a couple more stuff. I hope you guys all enjoyed that. If you find weird toys just laying around, you never know when you're going to find one. So make sure you pick them up, especially if they look like terrible Star Wars toys. Last up, what do we have left? Are we going to try this?
I guess so.
All right. JJ, I guess you're up.
What?
We're going to play a game. We're going to play a game. We're going to try this. This is our beta test. I'm glad we got 45 to 40 to 50 people in the chat. We're going to try our beta test on Star Wars trivia. We're going to kind of do it in a weird way. We're going to see if this works. We have 5 questions. They are multiple choice. JJ is going to have an option, and I will explain scoring some other time, but JJ will have an option to answer the question, to ask you, hey, Flynn, what's going on? And hey, Tony, in the chat, so you guys can give him the answer, or he can ask the panel for the answer. He can use those lifelines 2 times. He can use the chat once. He can use us once. But he's going to try to get as many right in a row, and then as many total right as he can. The point system is pretty easy. It's like 1 for 1, 2, 3. We'll go through it. There we go. Let's pull it up here, Pete. Let's see what Solo did to try to...
All right, ready? Now, there's an intro for this, buddy. I had to work some stuff up. I've been working on this for a while.
I'll let you do the intro before I show the question then.
That was part of the millionaire. But...
Yeah, it is today.
All right.
Everybody, grab your guy, grab your gal, go ahead and grab your pal. Come on down, because we are dropping the new science and kicking the new knowledge to see if JJ today can get a degree from Marco's Star Wars College of Knowledge.
Okay. Don't grade this on that portion.
That was great. I loved it.
Grade on what we're doing coming up here. That's an F in the chat right now. We got an F in the chat. Let's.
I like the wavy guy.
That's right. That's when everyone comes in crowded.
All right. You want me to roll the first question?
All right, roll the first question for JJ. Let's see what JJ's got here.
Oh boy.
What is Luke Skywalker's call sign during the Battle of Hoth?
You guys can play around, by the way, in the chat. It doesn't matter. You guys can play.
JJ, just don't look until you use that lifeline.
I've got
Rogue Leader. C, Gold Leader.
Yeah, that was not good.
I know it's not C. I'm gonna go with. You know what? Let's waste one already. Let's ask the panel.
The panel.
All right. The panelists.
We'll ask everybody but Solo Wookiee. Go ahead, Jedi.
Don't
what
ask
do you
me
say?
either.
Okay. I don't see the question anymore.
I don't see the question anymore either.
There you go.
Yeah.
I don't think it's Gold Leader, and I think Rogue Leader is kind of like that's a very ceremonial thing, I would think, because of the sacrifice that Rogue One extended. I'm going to say A. I'm going to say Red Leader.
Dom, what do you got?
I think A. I'm going with A myself, too.
All right. I was not going with A, but I'm going to go with A to help them all out. Go ahead, JJ. What do we
Sure,
got? A?
because I feel like B is actually Rouge leader.
Rouge.
You want to get some blood?
Yeah, I'm going with A. I'm going with Red Leader. Let's go.
All right, let's go with A. Lock it in. Final answer.
Final answer. Are you sure this is your last second chance?
Hey, everybody picked A. I got to go with it.
It is B.
Oh, I should have gone with the page.
Betrayal.
I should have gone with the page. You guys let me down. You guys talked me into the wrong way. Don't go with us anymore. All right.
We can't use
I can't now. I'm done.
All right, go on. Oh yeah, you used it already. Don't go with the panel. I'm never going with the panel. All right, up next. Go ahead. What's our next question? So you got 0 points. There.
Next question. Who's the first character in the movies to mention the name Palpatine? Is it A, Padme Amidala, B, Anakin Skywalker, or C, Yoda?
We will spell check next time.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Who's
look,
the
if we can't
first
pronounce
character?
names, you're gonna want us to spell check it out.
Are we talking chronologically in the way the movies work, or are
These
we
are
talking like
questions that are off of a cue card, right? We're taking these off of some legit place, correct? Like it's like Trivial Pursuit.
These are confirmed.
Okay, so this is
and
just how it comes out, Trivial Pursuit, bro. Like you can't.
All
you
right,
can't.
well, I don't know.
Ruben, I know this answer, so go ahead. Say
You can go to the chat.
You go
That's your
chat.
only other lifeline.
Or you can just
Want me
guess.
to read it in?
Yeah,
I'll just guess A. Padme Amidala.
Yeah, you're right.
Is that your final
I'm
answer?
pretty sure it's A.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's A too. I'm pretty sure it's A.
Your answer is
I disagree with you.
A.
Hey! All right.
I knew that.
Oh,
Kind of
right.
an overly
Point.
specific question. It seems
You
like.
have 1 point.
Yeah,
You have 1 point.
it kind of is, and it's a little bit of a trick and a teaser, but that's kind of what makes it fun.
All right.
All right,
go.
next question.
Hey, if you get this question right, you'll be up to 3 points.
All
Yeah,
right.
this is worth 2.
Who sits next to Luke at the briefing prior to the first Death Star battle? Is it A, Han Solo, B, Wedge Antilles, or C, Leia Organa?
This is a trick question,
Mhm.
but it's actually it's supposed to be Wedge Antilles, but it's really fake Wedge.
It's fake wedge.
In the legendary of Star Wars, that it's fake Wedge, but the
Fake
answer
wedge.
is it's B.
He said B. He said fake wedge. He's got it right.
It's fake Wedge.
You are correct. It
There you go.
is B, Wedge Antilles, aka fake Wedge.
So you're up to 3 points. There we
3
go.
points.
3 points. All right, go
They
ahead.
actually retconned that, so it's not Wedge,
Fake wedge.
but it became some other
Fake
dude later on. I
Wedge.
forget his name.
All
right,
right.
let's-
Next question. This one's a zinger. Which friend's character confessed their obsession
Oh, come
with
on, you gotta
Leia's gold bikini? Is it A, Joy Tribbiani, B, Rachel Green, or
What's
C,
friends?
Yeah,
Ross
dude,
Geller?
this is Star Wars trivia.
Who is this? This is nothing about Star Wars in this
It
question.
is.
Oh,
Who are the
Which
people?
character confessed their obsession with Leia's gold
No,
bikini?
hey,
Oh.
this is why I have to approve
A.
stuff. This is not even a Star Wars
Joy
question.
Tribbiani,
Bullshit.
B, Rachel Green,
How do you guys not know the answer to this?
Ross
Well,
Geller.
I don't even know
I
what
know
I'll tell you right now. Okay,
about.
all right. So I've watched like maybe 2 hours of Friends in my life, and I hate Friends. That'll probably
Go to
piss off some
chat.
people in the chat, but I got to go to chat because I haven't watched Friends at
Yeah,
all. So
go
let's go
chat.
chat.
That's why you have options.
And
I'm not gonna look at
Oh,
chat so I don't get-
chat and-
Somebody's got to tell
Chat
me
says Ross, C, and somebody said easy.
what's the prevailing answer. Is it Ross?
Guy Ross. Okay, guy says Ross. Ruben says C, and he also said it was easy. So, and then Marv
If
says
I watch
Guy
Friends,
Ross. He got that nerd energy. So whoever Ross is with nerd energy,
I'll go with Ross.
Ruben won't
It does
steer you
seem.
wrong.
really friends.
What little I know
Yeah,
about Friends,
thank
it
you.
seems like a
Hey,
nerdy Ross comment.
boo this man for this question. He picked this question. Boo this
Ruben won't
man.
steer you wrong.
We'll go with Ross. This chat seems
Ross.
to know it's Ross. I'm
Ross,
gonna go
they
with
said,
Ross.
I had no clue.
The
I would
Ross.
have to go with Chaz. That's the first way I get it wrong.
It was a good episode. You even got
It was a great
I don't watch
you even got
Friends.
Rachel to dress
You
up
should
like
watch
Slave
that
Leia in
episode.
the
Was it
bikini
that?
in the
And the
episode.
answer is C.
Ross.
Ross
All right, you
Geller.
got to
Say
6
Ross.
points. You got it right. I would
Yeah.
have got that wrong because I had no clue what that is.
No clue who that
All
was.
right, go ahead.
All right, final question.
So that's what, 6 points?
Yeah, he's up to 6. Yep.
Yep, 6. What
Last question.
Last
what
question, we're 4 points.
substance can sustain a person in perfect hibernation?
Oh my
A. Carbonite. B. Bacta. C. Webbish bog.
Be back to. Well, what is perfect hibernation? What the hell does that mean? I guess.
That's a trick question.
Yeah, theoretically it's A and B.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go.
No,
with,
no. That's not true.
I guess in Bacta you move. Is that? I guess you can move in the Bacta tank. So I guess A.
Wait. Are you asking the group?
I don't know. No, I can't ask the group.
All your help lifelines now.
I'm just thinking out loud.
I was about to correct him about something in that, but all right, go ahead. What do you got the answer for?
A.
You're on your own on this one.
A carbonite.
It's gotta be carbonite.
The answer is A.
Yeah,
Carbonite.
it's carbonite. Because you have the breathe tanks and you can move in Bacca.
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll probably see somebody and be like, "Hey, man."
All right, so that was 4 points. You got a total of 10 points. Good job, 10 points.
All
And
right.
then
right.
a possible 15.
You should have got the first one right. I can't believe you got that wrong.
Everybody said red. You even said red.
No. I mean, I wrote down B. I said I would pick that one.
I was 50-50 on him. That's why I went to the
panelists.
panelists was to get the right answer, and everybody said
Every
red.
person went against me on that answer, so I guess
listen,
I'm going to go.
I
with
was
them,
thinking
but I
about
had
Rogue
B.
One. I was thinking about Rogue One when you said Rogue, and I was like looking at it, and then I just said, Red Leader sounds perfect. Like,
Yeah,
I knew he was Rogue Leader at some point, but I didn't remember when exactly.
Well, I'm with Pete. I never heard of Rouge One, so
Rouge.
I crossed that out right away.
Well, either way, it was Rogue One. We know what it is. That was
fun,
good.
though.
I think that worked out pretty well. I said 10. I got 5, and a question about some sitcom of the 90s.
Well, I had
Now,
to kind of,
gotta
I
make
had
that
to
kind of
kind
stuff
of
in, though.
put it in there so that you guys, it helps
Okay.
force you guys a
No.
little bit into using the
You got to be
chat.
expert level to get that
It
question.
was a fun question. Just
Nobody
'cause you
watched
guys
whatever
don't
show that
like it or
was.
know it
Nobody
or
watched
It
want
doesn't matter.
Well,
That's
you know
what
what?
It is
Everybody
still
in America
Star Wars
watched Friends.
trivia.
What?
You should have threw in a
Everybody in
question.
America except for you and JJ.
I didn't watch.
Friends, apparently.
I like Friends.
You should
2
have
out of
threw in a
6
question.
people.
I remember the theme song.
He
I would
literally
put
goes,
the Rembrandt.
everybody, 2 out of 6 people never watch Friends on this right here. So that can't be everybody.
That's
I
good
mean-
enough for me.
I watched Friends.
Only 2 of you.
I was one of those. Friends and Seinfeld were my favorite shows.
The question is, if you watch
never
Friends,
watched
though, did
either
you
one of those
still
shows.
remember that random reference inside of Friends
Yeah.
and
No,
all,
I
all those
didn't remember
episodes
that
of Friends?
random reference, but you have to know Ross was kind of a nerd.
Mm.
And
He was
Who
a
knows who Ross
paleontologist
is?
and-
That
I
doesn't
do.
help me.
I do.
You don't
There
have to watch
also
the
was an
show to
episode-
know who Ross is, though.
Yes,
There
you
was
do.
an
Who's
episode where Ross
No,
was in
you
bed,
don't.
and
Like that show was beyond just. You didn't have to watch
Was
it.
Ross
It
the
in your
guy
face
that was
no
in
matter where you
Private
were.
Ryan? There's the guy Joey. who
Yes.
was in the Joey show.
You're thinking of Band of
Right,
Brothers,
no.
but yes,
The guy that
it's
was
the
in-
same guy.
yeah, Band of Brothers.
Band of Brothers.
He was
Yes.
really good in Band of Brothers because that's what everybody told me. They're like, you liked him in Band of Brothers, you should watch that show.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
that's
He's
what everybody
pretty
told me
funny in
too.
the show. He's actually really funny.
And then there was
But nonetheless,
what's her
I'm
name? Wasn't
trying-
there?
I mean, I know who
Brad Pitt's
actors-
wife or
like,
girlfriend?
I live in America, so I know what actors play what in Friends, but like I literally never watched Friends
No,
to get
I
like a
don't.
little
I don't
inside of
either.
reference
I am
inside
either.
of
There's a
What was
difference.
Jennifer? Is Jennifer Aniston's name Jennifer in the show too?
No, it's
No.
Rachel Green.
Rachel.
Rachel Green.
Okay, I'm probably gonna forget that.
Yeah.
Rachel Green.
No, JJ's point
am-
that he
So
knows
Joey
of the
played
show,
Joey
never
in
watched
Friends,
it is
though,
one
right?
thing.
There's a
You
guy
that
named
pretend
Joey
to
who
have
played a guy
no
named Joey,
knowledge
right?
of. You don't know who's
Joey
Captain-
Tribbiani.
Who's William Shatner? I don't even know who that actor is because I don't watch that other show.
I'm keeping
It's
it
untrue.
fair. Just because not all of us here know the answer or watch the show doesn't mean that our listeners. So if we ever get a contestant that is a listener that comes on, I want to keep everything equal. I want to keep everything.
No more
fun and
sitcom
fair.
questions. Ruled out. No more sitcom questions.
Okay, next week.
So there's a
There
guy
are
named
ways
Joey.
of getting around that. It's like
Extra-
that.
In episode,
I do have a-
in
Time
episode
out.
19
I
of The
have a
Simpsons.
question. I do have a question on this. So
There's some great Family Guy episodes with
they
Star
had a
Wars.
bunch. They
Absolutely.
had a bunch of
And
guys.
we will have some.
Like so Joey was a guy, and he was also a guy there named Joey, right? So and Ross was a guy, and
You-
Ross was also a
You
guy
had
in
Ross
there.
Geller, you had Joey Tribbiani, and you had Chandler Bing.
And their
Those are the
first
guys.
all names of the actors were the same as they had in the show, and then Jennifer Aniston got a different name.
No.
What are you
that's
talking
not
about?
their-
Well,
Matthew Perry's
Well,
not named
Joey-
Chandler.
no,
Who's Matthew
exactly.
Perry?
Guys who played
The
Chandler.
guy who played Chandler. David
All right,
Schwimmer was
I'm
not
done.
named
Okay.
Ross.
Okay, I'm out. I'm out.
Yo,
All
Tony
right,
None
well,
of them had the
Tony
name
in all
of the
his shows.
character that they had.
Hey Pete, on your Wednesday show, you guys need to rank the characters.
What's up,
of
Big
Friends.
Nosh? I'm glad you're still here. What? You do
I
what?
was telling
Not
Pete
doing
on the Wednesday show, the greatest show, you guys, the most awesome show. You need to rank not only the characters of Friends, but maybe the episodes of Friends.
There you go.
It's going to be a
There's
pretty
some good
boring
ones.
show because I know nothing about it. So I like
I think
Jennifer
it
asked that she was naked in a movie one time. So
I'll say this
she
much.
wins. Ask
Thank
it.
you to chat for helping me get that question right because I probably would have never got it
Courtney
right.
Cox. She was in
Absolutely.
Masters of the
I'm not
Universe.
from the boomer generation, dude. Do I look like I'm 70? No, I'm not.
I'm younger than he
boomer,
is, and
dude.
I didn't watch Friends either.
I'm
so-
literally the youngest guy on the panel. I'm
I mean,
Jennifer
like,
Aniston.
hopefully you get like, because I guarantee you, like people under the age of like 25 probably haven't watched Friends either that much.
no, it's really popular. I think they were selling shirts. The kids
Well, I thought it was
were-
popular because everybody
Jennifer-
rewatches it, but like,
We have syndication, yeah.
Jennifer Aniston in Horrible Bosses was great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
Jennifer
was.
Aniston.
I mean, I've seen the actors and other things, but that doesn't help me answer that question.
No,
with
I-
small reference
No,
instead of Friends.
I don't.
That what I think Friends, I only know she's in it. I don't know who she is. That's it. I mean, I know her from movies.
You need
All
to
right.
have oddball questions like that to be streak busters. You
Oh,
have to have something like
Absolutely,
that in there.
absolutely. Now you guys
Throw
will
that
never
curve.
forget.
You throw
You
that
guys will
curve.
be at bar trivia one night and be like, "Thank
Timmy-
God,
No, I
Silver
still- I
Wolfie
forgot
dropped
exactly
this
who it
knowledge
was.
upon me."
Joey, some guy, Fatone.
I can- I have.
Fatone of
I'm-
Friends.
Joey
said
pretty
something about
experienced.
Star
Joey
Wars.
Fatone.
I'm pretty
I can't
experienced at
think.
Simpsons
Yeah,
trivia, so
Joey was
I
Matt
feel like there's so
LeBlanc.
much useless sitcom knowledge in my head.
We will drop in
He's
some
in the
Robot
Friends,
Chicken
right?
and some Simpsons and
The
some
Joey
we'll
guy.
post
Joey
some
Tribbiani.
good stuff.
Yes, Joey. The character's name is Joey in Friends, but the actor's
Joey.
name is not
Marco
Joey.
can't get over the fact that actors have different names in their characters.
I thought Friends was supposed to be like, no, I just thought that show did that where they did.
Mark Hamill is not named Luke Skywalker.
I was just
I
gonna
get
say
that.
Mark is not
I get
Luke.
that, but I thought the
I
joke.
think Marco's getting Friends mixed up with the real world on MTV. I think that's
Maybe.
Oh, that
There you
could
go.
be. It could be.
Wait a second. His name's not the Miz.
What the hell's the real world?
Oh, the mid. Mike on the real world was. I can't believe he became a well, I wouldn't quite call what he says wrestling, but I can't believe he got.
Yeah.
into one of it.
Yes, Ruben.
entertaining.
We should change it to Star Wars Friends.
You're not doing this, did you?
Hey, how you doing? How you doing?
I've been waiting
Cut an
for
opening.
2 weeks. I've been waiting for 2 weeks to drop that question because this is the exact response.
No, there's a lot of
I
times
was gonna
I didn't
get.
have cable. I didn't remember
Which,
talking-
which,
be
which
any
Star Wars
more-
characters are playing around in the fountain then? Which are the 6 that are playing around in the fountain?
what fountain?
In the opening
At the
credits of
beginning
Friends,
of
they're all
Friends.
in a fountain.
He doesn't watch Friends. He's not going to get the reference.
I literally have no clue what
He
you're
has
talking about.
television, though. I'm sure on one of the multitude of channels that show is
They did
syndicated
parody.
on. He's accidentally been like,
Well,
"What's
I
it
just
on
mentioned
there?
that.
What is this
I just
shit?"
mentioned that I watch Simpsons a lot, and I
opening
know
has started.
Simpsons really well. That's where I get a lot of my other references from other shows from. So I do know the Smashing in the Fountains thing because they made fun of it on The Simpsons one time.
Right.
You've accidentally
Otherwise,
left
I'd
like
have-
TBS or TNT on, and Friends has started, and you're like, "What the?"
This Tebow guy's great. He's calling me a snowflake, but he's like loving some show called Friends where they got a bunch of kids. Because the premise of Friends, I know what it is, right? Like the premise of Friends is people with no jobs that sit around and don't do anything, right?
They
There's
all
none of
have
them
a-
jobs.
they all have
They all have jobs.
They have jobs?
Every one of
Yeah,
them. One's
they all
an
stick
actor,
around,
the
one's
ones
a
that
don't have
chef,
jobs.
One's a paleontologist.
What's the premise of the show? I don't get this.
It's just
It's in the
people
title.
who hang out in New York in their 20s and they're
Exactly.
going through life.
They're friends.
They're
That's-
friends.
It's like Seinfeld, but
Novelty
not
Okay,
as funny
I'm
and
the
younger people.
snowflake, and these people, including that guy, watch that show. Okay, that sounds like
Hey,
a
Marco,
winner.
did you
All right.
watch? Did you watch How I Met Your Mother? That's another great show.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, I
God,
watched
you
some
should
of that. I
watch
watched
that.
some of it on and off.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, it had
That was great.
Barney in it. I liked him. And I mean, Barney
Thank
like
you, Shannon.
cosplays a lot.
Boiling it down. to the
Shannon's
very
explanation. They are
You
friends.
guys literally watched something that was just friends hanging out. I mean, like,
Okay, so I have a question
at
for all
least there's
these,
a mystery.
all
of
these
who the
Friends
mother
watchers. Why were the like? Was it just like a design thing that they put periods in there? Because I do know like the title of the show had like the period. Like, is
It
that
was
like an
just a
acronym?
design.
Yeah, I think it's
Oh,
was.
it was
Going
just
down the
a
rabbit
design
hole on
thing.
Friends on the Star Wars show.
Okay.
at this point.
Hey, Marco, I just dropped a picture in our chat.
Yeah, I'm looking at that. So is that
Star Wars, right?
is that Jennifer? Who is that?
That's Jennifer Aniston.
That is her?
In the layout.
Yeah, okay,
in the
fair
Yes,
layout.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay, but even if I saw a picture of Jennifer Aniston in the Leia outfit, I still wouldn't be able to answer that question.
I
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
I watched Big Bang
By
Theory.
process
Did you
of
think they were
elimination.
friends? I didn't think they were friends. They
So-
were like,
Again, you just saw the picture. If you have not watched that episode, you might want to just go on down and click and hook
Well, I
your
could just look
peepers
at the
up on
picture.
that episode because
Exactly.
Jennifer Aniston in the gold bikini is pretty darn nice.
what's the thing though? So like they all had nice apartments, but they were all like worked part-time jobs or something.
No.
No.
Yeah, how do they afford those apartments?
That's the one.
Oh,
Okay,
they
that's
had
what I've heard all the time.
It's
How
New
they
York
afford
City.
Listen,
Oh, they
everybody
have like
in
a
the
waitress
chat-
or something. Like that.
Yeah, no, because I'm looking at the Big Bang Theory. Those guys are like engineers on scholarships.
The one was
Six
Monica
figures and living in a
Caroline's
tiny
apartment.
hotel.
Ross was a
Rent
doctor.
control.
He was like a
He's a
paleontologist.
paleontologist.
Oh, they don't
If
get
you'd
paid.
like
Yeah, it
me
was
to
rent control.
explain how they
Rent
got
control.
the
No,
apartment,
I'm serious. That's what it was.
I
It was
can
the
rent
do
last,
it.
the last tenant
I
died.
don't really
But
care.
We're
I'm
going
never
to be here
watching
for a
that.
while, and this is a
There
Star
it is.
Wars show.
Hey.
There you
Okay,
go.
no,
Look
I
at
don't
that.
think
Yeah,
anybody
there
cares
you
about
go.
Friends.
Then why do you keep
I do.
asking questions?
I don't. I'm saying Big Bang Theory. I was like, I like that TV show.
All right,
I'm
listen.
not asking.
We're coming out with a new show, Battle of the Sitcoms. That would be another show one day in the week.
Yeah, there you go.
That's going to be one show. I guess I'm going to have to. I didn't watch a ton of sitcoms, so I guess I'm just going to have
No,
to.
same here. That's the thing.
I'm
Like,
gonna
if I
have to
didn't watch the
list that
show,
by
I'm not going to
myself,
get the
man.
reference.
Yeah, I mean, like that's.
Okay,
I would
let me
be the JJ Maxwell of that show.
Yeah.
put this
I would
in.
be.
I won't be good at that.
Let me put
I
this
would be
into
so good
a
at that show.
preface. Okay, so not everybody has the amount of Star Wars knowledge that Marco and JJ possess.
Because we didn't watch sitcoms.
Including
Well, I got the
me,
first question wrong.
including a lot
You let
of,
them talk you
of
into it.
people and our viewers and listeners. To even the playing field, I did put a question in there that, knowing you guys could go to the chat and stuff, that I
Yeah.
was pretty sure you guys wouldn't know.
He put a
Because
Jedi Johnson
I
22
wanted
question
to
in there.
level the playing field. There was questions in there that you guys
The
know that a
problem
lot
is
of
it's a
other
Star
people.
The problem
Wars
is it's
show
not
about
a Star Wars
not about some
question.
sitcoms.
It was a great Star Wars question.
Terrible.
I like the question.
It was a curveball. That curveball
Yes.
came right down the middle and curved to the right last second.
Amen. Swing and a miss. And you got it right.
Thank you,
I
chat,
mean,
for
you
getting it
used-
right. Thank you, chat,
Yeah.
for getting it right.
Yeah,
'cause
you
we-
absolutely. You went
to
to the
solo the
chat.
point. That's what
You
you
got
need.
the
That's the
chat
only one I
involved.
didn't get right, and the only one I didn't answer because I had no clue what that was.
You
All right.
got the chat involved, which was
So what
our,
did he win?
our whole purpose.
Nothing.
Nothing
We got to
yet.
play
Didn't win
somebody
anything.
now. I
This
think
is
that worked.
This is the concept game or the
Yeah,
prototype
it's a
game.
concept. I think we're going to try it again next week. Somebody else is going to play against him. We just don't know how we're going to do that because
You can put up Solo Wookiee and I'll write the questions a bit. On this episode of Robot Chicken,
yeah, all right,
Fine,
fair enough.
I've seen them.
There you
I've
go.
seen
Hey,
them
there
all.
it is.
I own
Okay.
them all. And yes, there
Star
I
Wars
will.
detours.
Do it.
find the most
Yeah.
obscure Star Wars
Robot
reference
chicken
again.
coming.
And
Well,
some
let's
other.
try not to do that. We're
I
not
don't
trying
know
to.
everything. I'm
Look,
okay
this is-
with that.
This is supposed to be fun. We're not trying to like
Hey,
throw people.
that
under
was
buses.
that was great fun.
We're still talking about it.
That'd
We
go.
Yeah,
gotta get.
that's how
I'm trying to
fun
get
it
out of
was.
here. I'm done with this. All right. Hey, thank you everybody. Give us a like, thumbs up. Hey, we're gonna do a giveaway next week if you guys stay around. It definitely won't be something on sitcoms or Friends. Guaranteed that. Jedi's taking
Well,
Jedi John's
not
taking
sure
a
we can
break. You want to
guarantee
thank him real quickly. Make
Everything.
sure you hit him up on the IG, and he'll give you names. And then we'll see him back in like 3 weeks, right, Jedi?
Yep, I'm going to be going to Texas visiting my cousin Dusty Baker, who is a
Oh,
viewer.
Dusty.
So
He isn't here. We told him to take
Cool.
all his stuff like me and Pete did, but he refused. So that's on him. All right. We'll see y'all